Hello, welcome back.
Welcome back.
It is episode 4. Before we introduce our special guest, Oreo couldn't be here again. What I need you guys to do in the comments down below, please, is bully him for not being here.
Yes,
he could have been here, but he's not here. So bully him in the comments, saying that he messed out on an amazing episode, and then go subscribe to his YouTube channel and bully him in his streams, all right? So have the true Oreo King. Have fun with that. Anyways.
Do it.
So, this week in the triangle formation, like an upside down pyramid,
just
or whatever.
like last week.
Just like last time. We have the ever trusty Houdini Funkmeister over here, and in the middle of the triangle, creating the point, is one of my amazing best friends, part of my family, everything type like that. It is the one and only the Elfers, the original, aka Go Elf Yourself, which has now been relabeled to MmmElfers.
You forgot the part.
How about phlegm?
Elfers.
Right?
I think
That's what it is.
Oh my! I'm getting an ass mirror assaulted here.
I mean, you gotta chew your balls for a reason.
I gotta chew my balls for a reason.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Wait, what?
Yeah, just gotta do it. Listen, I taught Oreo the method to licking his own ass by breaking his back. We'll have to teach you how to do that as well too. I mean,
I think I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
we can have the helicopter people come and grab you, and whatever happens. Just don't resist.
People?
Yeah, don't worry about that. Anyways,
No, don't worry about that.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry about that. That's a new part of the show. It's called We Capture You, and we find you, and we put you in my basement and lock you up.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's all
Okay.
good.
I'm a little scared now.
Good.
And I think I was gonna let you sit on my couch.
You probably still will. No,
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I think it'll be more the shock of, hello, I am here. I found your address.
I mean,
I ran all the way from Illinois to Canada.
That's a long walk.
It's like you just see like some fat white guy running down fucking Main Street, just tripping on all this bullshit, just falling
gonna
and
run
shit.
to Canada.
oh my.
Run to Canada.
It
Yeah.
was like, welcome to Canada.
Welcome to Canada.
How did he?
I am on the ground needing help and breathing.
Yep.
Dude, if you did that in Canada, you'd have so many people trying to help you out.
It was just really amazing.
You do that in America, there'd be people laughing at you and recording it.
I remember one of the best jokes before I left Target was on the Reddit. They have a Target Reddit, which is not like Target did not make a Reddit. It's made by team members and stuff for fun. And one of the memes I saw right before I quit was Brian Cornell came into my store. For people who don't know this, Brian Cornell is the CEO of Target. And so he came into a store, and the employee was like, "Oh, hi, Brian." And then he kicked her, pushed her down, and spit on her, and asked one of his posse people, "Who is this peasant talking to me?" As he continues to walk by as she's on the ground. So, one of the best memes I ever found. And
That's about right. It sounds about right.
I could not stop laughing because it would be such a mood.
It is very,
But
very
it's
fucked.
okay. But yeah, guys, we're at Elf today. It's amazing, and I want to be 100% honest when I say this. Elf was going to be on the podcast no matter what, right? But I did have a different person supposed to be booked for this week, who unfortunately was not able to be here this week. So we're having to reschedule with them to try to get a little bit of a better date to where we all can sit down and stuff. And Elf was legitimately amazing. So funny story. Yesterday, we're taping this on a Tuesday, so yesterday was Monday for me, and I went to go help my good buddy out to go get some chairs. Right, I drove 4 hours out, for the chairs, got the chairs, drove 4 hours back to the home, then to drive 30 minutes out to go find a grandfather clock, to drive 30 minutes back to the house to drop off the grandfather clock, and then get like food and gas, yada yada yada. So it was a lot of driving yesterday. And then so I'm like getting ready to like get in the shower so I can start like getting ready for bed. I was dead tired. I'm just like, my person just said, yeah, I can't do it. I'm like, I gotta get someone. And Elf has been a G, always been a G. And so she was amazing enough to be able to squeeze us in today during her, time. She has a little bit of time off before the new job, which starts tomorrow for you, which congratulations. I do want to talk a little bit about that a little bit more in the show.
Yeah, not much really to say about it, but
just mostly just like, what's the difference between your old job and new job, yada yada.
We'll just do
nothing
congratulations.
All right, thank you.
So, but I think we have a fun show planned. It's probably gonna be a little bit more ranting than normal, I think, from all of us. And you know what? I think we're gonna have one of these episodes anyways. You guys know we do our best to not talk about, money, politics, stuff like that, because we already know, like, we don't even like talking about it, so why would we shove it onto you guys? But the thing that we will be talking about, though, is a little bit like private policy TOS stuff. So if you're not a big fan of people talking about TOSs or websites, or you don't really understand them, then we'll have like a timestamp in the description to be like, get to more like story time, fun stuff, the Patsy questions, stuff like that later on in the show. So we'll do that for you guys. For the audio listeners, I think you'll enjoy it. So,
oh yeah,
we're gonna have some fun here, guys.
This
We're
time
being
we are
smarter, faster, quicker.
Ooh, loud.
Okay,
Anyways.
Kanye.
Kanye West in the house. Yay! All right.
Hi, give me money.
Hi.
I
As long
showed
as
up.
you
Give
accept my
money.
fish sticks.
Kanye touches everything.
I am
Fish
not
sticks.
a gay fish. Damn it.
I wish I was a gay fish.
Or it should be anything.
It's
That's not this.
gotta suck to have all these people that you sign just like be way more popular than you are now.
I think my thing with like
That's
Kanye is like,
that's gotta suck, Kanye. I love you, man, but that's gotta suck. Get your head straight.
yeah, no, and that's the thing is he definitely
That's all.
like
Yeah.
he needs to get his shit sorted, and it's like,
He's a good rapper.
stop
and
harassing
stuff,
people,
so-
like, bruh, just move on with your life.
Hey, you don't see nobody else doing that. So.
Yet. Yet's always the opportune word. We don't want
True,
it
he
yet.
is considered a trendsetter, so
That's right.
bum bum bum.
Just be kind in the world. That's all we gotta ask for. Just be kind in the world. You'll do a lot of good things.
Don't
Yeah.
be a Kanye.
Don't be a Kanye. First rule of life. If I ever have a child, like, there's three things you need to know. I'll have your first beer with you. We will try marijuana. If you're just like Kanye, you're out of the family. As I'm rocking them to sleep.
Get them vibes up. Keep them vibes up.
Keep
Come on.
vibes only.
Vibes
Key
up.
vibes only.
Right.
All right, so I guess just jumping into, like the first thing I really want to talk to Elf about. I think it's the biggest thing that's being talked about, I think, in the Twitch space right now. Other than Twitch having a few new categories and some newer things going on in the tag realm, which has been really nice, is one more annoying thing. Which, to kind of just read the paragraph real quickly, this was released. I want to say it was released in very early March. I think I could be wrong, but pretty much what this is talking about the new Twitch TOS on usernames. So in order to ensure that our community is safe and inclusive, inappropriate accounts named that violate our community guidelines will now be prohibited. We also recognize that an account's username has more impact across our service than many other forms of content because they are cross-functional and in most cases much more visible. Because of this, we need additional higher standards for usernames based on reducing harm across our services. Usernames and display names we created on Twitch will not be included. So then it gives like a big list of things, which is like breaking the law, violence and threats, hateful crime, harassment, sexual harassment, unauthorized sharing of private information, impersonation, glorification of natural or violent tragedies, self-destructive behavior, reference to recreational drugs, hard drugs, or any type of drugs in general, with exceptions of alcohol, tobacco, and marijuana, and references to sexual acts, genital, and sexual fluids. So
this has gotten really strict.
Yes, and
this is basically telling me not to come back.
Yes, because the name Houdini Font Monster is so bad. No,
it's not my name.
Yeah,
it's just like, is that just talking about in your username and not your
just
content?
Just in username, yeah.
Just your username.
Okay, so if I crack a joke about crack cocaine, it should be fine.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
not that I would. I'm just saying.
As long as you're not glorifying it, it's fine.
No.
So
no,
I think
it's either a joke or I'm actually talking shit about it, like down on it.
I think the big thing about this new TOS is it's giving me a little bit of oomph, I guess, from Twitch. The way I say that is over the past year or so, Twitch has really gone down on their terms of service. They've really been stricting it up and giving more conclusive information, which they were kind of more vague about in the past. And I think we're seeing this because Twitch is now becoming a bigger entity, especially after all the DMCA lawsuit stuff that happened about a year and a half ago. They're really taking Twitch more serious now, which is fantastic. I love that the platform that, I'm growing on, Elf is growing on, and, many other creators in the Nest are growing on. It's amazing. But the only problem with this is that while you're doing this, you're also making things harder for the creators. Twitch was one of the platforms when I first started that had a little more freedom of speech. You didn't have to really worry about certain things. Now, as I tell everyone, you always know
YouTube was on their bullshit.
Yeah. And everyone knows, like, the bad is the bad. There's, like, obvious, like, real things that you can't do no matter what. It doesn't matter what platform you're on, which is what we should all remember during this conversation. But
of course,
little things like usernames and stuff, I get where they're coming from, but I don't get it for certain things. And I don't want to push too much of the story on because I want to make sure Elf kind of gets like the proper story across for her. So I guess so everyone knows, like, my name's completely safe. I mean, it's just the word Luigi.
Until Nintendo comes for that ass.
Until Nintendo, DMCA's me and I'm screwed over like no tomorrow. And Houdini's is pretty safe too. It was actually
real safe.
Elf, who was one of the bigger people that I know who actually had to go through this entire change. So Elf, I guess go ahead and kind of talk about how you feel about it. And something, if you can, like, I would add like a follow-up question to it too, which you don't have to answer immediately, is how did this like big change really affect your brand and really how you kind of feel about like streaming and being on the platform after having to go through such a major change that kind of came out of the blue? So that's kind of the two questions I have for you, but answer them, and you're really good with the flow, so answer them how you do it. But I want to hear from you.
Let's just say Ree was the first thing that came to mind when I heard, came across the article and then went to the TOS part of the website. I read through the policy, and I literally poured over that thing up and down. I did it like several times because I was thinking, no, this can't be like affecting people like me. Like, I'm an affiliate. Like, I should be fine. Like, this is my brand. Like, I'm good, right? No, apparently I'm not good. I read through it. There was nothing for grandfathering. There was nothing that protects affiliate or partner, but guaranteed there are some partners that have probably gotten a pass for this. But no, mine is considered harassing, or it could be considered sexually explicit. Because go elf yourself, honestly, like in its conceivement was, a clever way to say go fuck yourself. And
obviously.
Very obviously. And I realized at that point, based off of some previous incidents I had when I was rating and hosting people as Go Elf Yourself, there were certain creators that were like wholesome and don't cuss, and they would refuse to say my name out loud. Like, even to say thank you for a raid or a host, they wouldn't say my name because it sounded too much like a cuss word. So for me, I thought I took that into consideration. I thought about it for a couple days, actually, because like I had until March 31st to change my username, and I think it was March 31st. Was it March 31st?
I think it was like the end of March, or you had like the first week of April to finish or something like that.
Yeah.
But you did it on March 31st. Wow. That's probably it, because that's the end of the fiscal year.
I actually
That's where a lot of deadlines hit.
So I changed mine before that, because it said that they would give you that time to come up with your new username and use it, because they understood, branding and marketing. It's like, no, you really don't. Otherwise, you wouldn't have done this to us. Now, I understand there are some usernames that should not be used, and I get.
Oh, absolutely. I can think of several that I'm not even going to say.
Like one, like I'm totally fine with saying because it doesn't have any slurs or anything. Is I swallow cum and icy wiener, stuff like that. Like those ones, like I get it, because when they're said out loud, if they're said by somebody that's like streaming something that's safe for kids, like there's gonna be a whole conversation that a parent's gonna have with their kid. But then there's the ones that, bypass the racial slurs and homophobic stuff, transphobic, like those slurs that are hateful.
Like all the nicks out there that we know.
Yes, we know you. We see you. We've seen you.
We've seen you.
We've seen you.
And I know it's your birthday, but I don't care.
And I understand, like, taking those ones off. And I understand taking off the ones that, might have something that resembles, like, an IP address. Totally understand it. Really understand that. But to go after people that have worked to the point where they have affiliate and up should not have been affected. They really shouldn't have. And I'm actually getting into that second question now. Might as well, because like I'm on the track there. I have noticed I don't have, so like I didn't, after having to change my name, I changed it to Elfie Daddy, just as a nod towards my, more anime nerd fan, viewers. And it was okay, but my views were different. My viewer count was different. I noticed it in my analytics after that my analytics had changed, and it was actually kind of significant, because before that point, I was fine. I was starting to stream consistently, and then the name change thing happened, and then I would hang out with other streamers like Lala the Clown, and of course, like he, like others that don't watch anime, had a hard time saying my name. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just wait until the next time I can change my name, and then I will change it to something that is easier for people to pronounce. But the whole time, like that whole period of me being Elfie Dede, I had a really, really hard time wanting to stream, because I do not honestly feel like myself. Now that my name is changed, it feels completely different. It's not like, my name was fun to say. My name was fucking fun to say. And honestly, like, that's what I've always wanted when it came to stream. Was like, it was never like something that I did for the views. It wasn't really anything that I did for like money or anything like that. It was for fun. And then you take that one aspect away, and it does change your analytics. And like, whether I wanted it to or not, it affected me definitely, because like, it's like, oh, people were just around just to say my name, or like, just because they thought my name was funny.
His name.
Exactly. The people start feeling like they don't know you anymore.
My name. If I change my name from Houdini, like people be like, "Who's this?"
Well, yeah, and then the other thing was like I was so exhausted with everyone saying, "Oh, well, I'm pretty sure you could change your name back. You didn't probably have to do that." And it's like, you're upsetting me more, honestly, than me finding out the first time. And it's honestly, I don't blame them for trying to help. I understand that, but it's just like I'm already like going through a grieving process because, in all honesty, it is a grieving process. You know what I mean? Like
you're dealing with loss.
I lost something that I had been building for like what, 3 years, almost 4 years, with that name, and it's just like. I lost it all in a matter of like so little time, and it's all because, you know, Twitch has decided that they're going to try to toughen up and be that strict parent. Is like, who are you to parent the internet? Like, I get what you're trying to do, but you know, there's such thing as too far, and I'm sorry, but I do think like that was too far.
It's like they always want to overcompensate. YouTube did the same thing. YouTube did the same thing where they overcompensated with like the COPPA law when that came into place. What they did in retaliation to that was way more than they were ever asked to, and they did that because they wanted people to be mad at the law. And it's like, nah, y'all the ones
and
doing
it's like, I understand you're doing your best to prevent people from getting offended or trolled. More specifically, I understand being harassed or trolled. I get that. But, like, offensive? Like, no matter what you do, I'm sorry, there's going to be something that you're going to do or say that's going to offend one person or another out there. There's no such thing as a safe opinion or action or, like, phrase. I'm sorry, there really isn't. Somebody is always going to be offended by something you say or the way that you say it or the way you do things or the, you know, like, fuck. Just breathing might offend somebody. Like, but don't take it out on the people that bring you money. Because I'm sorry, we do bring we bring Twitch money. It's like
every ad that gets played on your channel,
and it's not even it's not even just the ads too. Like, for instance, like if I pull open my browser right now and I go to my account, like when you're logged in. You have this little crown thing at the top. It's the Prime Loot crate thing. You know, they make money off of you just like clicking it and like clicking on the thing and looking at it. It's a fucking advertisement. It's another way of them advertising and getting money. They probably make more money off of me than I've ever made off of Twitch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
it's not a symbiotic relationship. Honestly, it's not. But yeah, no, it just like, so for me, it really ticked me off because it's like, why are you doing this? Like, you could have just given people that were affiliating up a fucking pass. Obviously, remove anybody that's got the, you know, the actual ones, but don't put fucking hard lines for everything else because not everything else is as offensive to other people as you think. Like, maybe ask the fucking community what they want to see removed. Personally, I thought it was fucking hilarious as shit with somebody coming into my stream and say, and their username is I swallow cum. I literally thought it was fucking hilarious as shit. Other stuff, not so much.
This is like not surprising to me because Twitch is owned by Amazon. And obviously it was eventually gonna take over. The culture was gonna take over Twitch as a whole, and it has. Twitch is just Amazon at this point, and Amazon is all about how people view them. Is their public persona, but they'll treat anybody who works for them or makes them money like shit. And that's exactly what a streamer is somebody who brings people to the platform to, you know.
Yeah, I was actually just gonna say maybe Amazon should focus on treating their freaking
we might need to get us a streamers union. Maybe we need to get a streamers union.
Oh, but then that takes a chunk out of what little money that we do get.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that like keeps us from doing it. But yeah,
it was absolutely ridiculous.
That's true with YouTube too. That's true with all online platforms.
So I remember the big time when YouTube had its big change go down with a lot of stuff. We'll say
2017.
It that way. Yeah, 2017 was the dark
2020
year
as
of
well.
YouTube.
Yeah, they had major changes in 2020. Yeah.
Yeah.
But 2017 was like one of Yeah, that was one of the biggest.
2017 was the partner program and also the learning and usage of the Apocalypse. And then 2020, we saw an Apocalypse version 2. Luckily, a lot smaller, but still a version 2.
It's like a recession. It's like a smaller level.
And another change with the freaking partner project. I remember that too. And
on top of that,
you don't make enough videos for you to be in that. Or enough subscribers. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, that part changed all in 2017 though, because sadly that changed when I was getting popular on YouTube. The 2020 change was the COPPA laws, which now you have which, for people who have never uploaded on YouTube, originally YouTube Studio did not ask certain questions. That it would ask like, what do you want the title, the thumbnail, the tags, the description, yada yada, all those questions. But before the COPPA laws, I think is how you say it, the COPPA laws, COPPA.
It's COPPA.
Because it's 2 P's, PPA. Okay.
Yes, it's PPA.
With these new laws becoming in effect, it changed on how we now have to do stuff. We now have to mark every video as either not kid-friendly or kid-friendly, and on top of that, we now have to mark our videos if it's meant for an 18-year or older audience, which is kind of annoying because a lot of the 2015-2016 YouTube era was a lot more jackass, a lot more gameplay and all of that, and then 2017 brought the year of the vlogger, which can't be mad at, but all this stuff happened at the same time. And for people who have followed me through my entire journey on the internet stuff, most people know I had a YouTube channel at once that I was actually doing really good on for a YouTube streamer. I was kind of doing decent on it, pulling decent numbers almost every night. But when they announced the new partner program, is you have to have 1,000 subscribers, and you have to now have 4,000 watch hours, which is way harder to get on a live stream than on a normal video, made that impossible for people who do just streaming. You would now have to make sure you create short form content. And that's not even get into the YouTube Shorts, which they stole from either Instagram, TikTok, wherever you want to say they stole it from.
I say they stole it from TikTok.
Yeah.
It didn't pop up till after TikTok.
They all feel the same now to me. But, the stealing of the Shorts, and now the Shorts don't count towards the watch hours either. They only work for the algorithm. And during 2017, the algorithm changed so much. If you ask me early 2017 or even early 2018 how the algorithm was, I would say it pushed new games, but it also pushed retro games. But during 2017, 2018, the internet went to the whole dark area with net neutrality being a thing, with Nintendo suing a ROM site company, and now everyone's scared to emulate Nintendo games, and now people are worrying about internet history, internet Wayback Machine, and then going into the whole YouTube bullshit. 2017, 2018 was a terrible year for content creation in the internet. And luckily, Twitch was one of the people who did not have any problems. And you already had some pretty big streamers on there, but you kind of have some smaller streamers as well.
Twitch seemed like an opportunity. You could get on there, you could get into their affiliate program, which is something YouTube has no equivalent to an affiliate program.
The affiliate program is no.
That is just a Twitch thing. But that's why I moved away from YouTube streaming. If I would have stayed streaming on YouTube, if they'd never changed if they didn't raise the bar like they did, because when they raised the bar like that, I was like, well, I already know that until I'm partnered, you're not really pushing my stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm fighting an uphill battle, whereas on Twitch it seemed more fair. You
had a chance at something.
It's like my stuff would show up on the front page. Alongside other people, just for playing a game.
And also, I think with seeing YouTube taking these drastic changes when they did, and YouTube being the #1 video hosting and streaming platform in the globe, in the world, it does show that Twitch is trying to take certain things from YouTube to bring over into the Twitch area of it being more locked down, trying to make it feel more professional. And this is where Twitch is dropping the ball the most. And while people can complain about the DMCA thing, DMCA is a whole different thing on its own that I think DMCA is so problematic today because
DMCA
of the internet evolving. And we've been
dealing with DMCA
since
since 2000. Like since the internet blew up, we've been dealing with DMCA.
Yep. And
it's nothing new.
And I think everyone's heard the horror stories of, oh, if you create stuff on Spotify, you don't get paid from Spotify. If you don't have this or that, and all those nightmare things that you heard as musicians.
Spotify doesn't pay very much.
Yeah,
oh yeah, no, I'm aware that they don't.
I can confirm that YouTube pays about 10 times more.
No, I kind of figured that one.
It's ridiculous.
But even if we count DMCA as one of the things that, they had to crack down on for their own safety, that's understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube had to do the exact same thing back in 2013, 2014. They had to really drop the ball on DMCA, make sure people had the proper licenses and stuff, which is why you guys always see at the end of the podcast in the description stuff, you always see a tag for the people who let us use our music with having the proper licenses for them
adhesive,
and stuff. Adhesive Wombat.
Adhesive Wombat
was,
correct.
One of the very kind creators on YouTube who's not super big, who made some pretty good songs, who allows us to use them on the podcast, which, thank you. We appreciate that. It's nice having kind of like a music sponsor in a way. But even doing that, it helps and it works. But there's so much extra that Twitch does that YouTube does not do. YouTube does care about your username, but they'll tell you out of the gate if it's not good or not, or if it's not good, because they have a lot more technology embedded in their website. Twitch,
I think they should have done at that beginning.
Yes, and I think that's where I was trying to go to. Twitch is still a baby platform, and people are like, "What do you mean?" It's still an infant platform. It is not as big as TikTok. It's not as big as Instagram. It's still it's number 5 or 6 in most people's list of websites that they know that are very popular. And when you're the baby platform and you want to, get right upon your big shoes, you have to make certain changes. But here's one thing. If you make these changes for everybody who's been on the platform, even your biggest partner, and you do that, that automatically shows that the company is now taking over more than the users. And that's the one thing that I think people are going to start complaining about more, is that, Twitch is going to be focusing more on company side, focusing on brand, which you have to focus on brand as a company, but you can also focus on brand as well as allowing your platform to still be as free as it was, but just having new stipulations like here and there, allow grandfathering in and allow new things to be developed. So anyone who wants to start out will have these new ground rules on them, And I get that Twitch doesn't have a lot of staff. I know it's a much smaller portion. It's only like 1% of the Amazon whole thing. And so I don't want to say I want to give him credit, because this is not me giving credit. I mean, and I think Elf and I both understand that being understaffed or having a staff of only so many because of reasons, we understand that not having staffing is something that we cannot control. We can't be mad at them for that. But what we can be mad about is not delegating a team and say, all right, these are all of the people who are affiliated or partnered with us, which we think might have problematic usernames. Let's go through a meeting and go through them together and make a vote. Highest percentage wins. Something like that. And if a vote was like, hey, the company doesn't think this is a good name, then you at least know that either like a boardroom meeting or a actual human being looked at it and said, yeah, we don't think this is safe for our brand. Then through there, I think that would have been a much better way of taking it down than just saying, all right, y'all have to do it. Y'all get 3 weeks to do it. You now have to rebrand your entire channel.
It screams lazy. It screams lazy the way that they're going about
lazy.
it. Because it's like, we're just going to blanket it across. It would take more effort to go through and grandfather people to get rid of the really egregious usernames and let certain people keep the ones that aren't that bad. But instead of just blanketing the whole thing, and it's just lazy. Twitch has always been a community, and right now they're making changes that are going to affect the way that community can come together and interact with each other. and that's just gonna hurt Twitch in the long run.
Oh, for sure.
It's not gonna allow it to grow the way that it was growing.
Twitch is a baby platform.
Yep.
If they don't allow their creators, I hate saying the word do what they want, but if you're not going to allow your creators to be free and creative, I mean, I've seen, from pictures on the internet, I'm not going to lie, on some of the contracts that YouTube gives you if you become a partner. You actually have to sign a contract on, okay, you have to stream this many hours a year to equal this, and we'll give you a different pay cut. So I think everyone knows that as a Twitch affiliate, any type of subscribers is a 50-50 split. So if you pay, so everyone pays $5 for a sub on the website. Half that's given to Twitch, half that's given to us, which I already don't think is fair, but I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about that, as we are all Twitch affiliates. I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about that without getting in trouble, so I'm not going to get into it. But
sure.
As a partner, you do get a different split, and I don't know how much it increases. I don't want to do the research for it either, to be very honest with you guys.
I believe most people say it's 70%, but I think it's negotiable, depending on the streamer.
All I do know is they give you a lot of stuff, all right, to be a partner, you got to have all this stuff, and now you have to stream this many hours for this type of contract we want to give you. And some people said that the amount of hours you had to stream on Twitch were so ridiculous that you could actually take that time, move to YouTube, sign with YouTube, make more, stream less, and then be able to be more creative on other things like Twitter and creating more things like YouTube videos that let you just sit down and do it. And that's the one thing that I really wish I would have possibly stayed on YouTube for that reason, is that maybe I could have been embedded into the whole YouTube gaming thing or something like that, and we could have been a lot bigger than what we were. But during that time, not having a job, really kind of losing it all, my business was failing, all that type of stuff, I'm just like, I gotta be able to wait to make sure that I can eat and pay my phone bill and make sure that we have food and stuff for the house. And so you have to move to what makes, you the dollar. And as a business person, every penny saved is a penny saved. Every dollar earned is a dollar earned. So you have to look at it, I guess, in that sense too. That, people make these decisions for a reason. And Twitch has some sketchy history to it. We'll say it that way. Twitch does have a little bit of a sketchy history to it, which probably shouldn't get into in this episode. But let's just say that a lot of things have happened in the Twitch platform over the past 4 years, let alone the past 2, when the whole GPU mining thing became a thing, and people were reselling the cards for $2,000 to people to start streaming, and everyone and their mom now became a streamer, and that completely oversaturating a really decent community of people. Every kid and their mom's on Fortnite nowadays, if you look at it, It's just kind of annoying, and especially if you're not in your niche, then you're not getting viewers. I hate saying that, but
you're not wrong.
It's the truth. Elf you're mostly known for horror things. So if you don't play a horror game or Fortnite, because a lot of people do know you from the Fortnite days, you're not going to get a lot of viewers because it's not what people are interested or wanting to tune into.
Exactly.
And the thing that I explain is that the reason why I don't do Fortnite on stream anymore is because I get maybe 3 viewers by playing Fortnite. And it's not for any bad reason, it's just if they know I'm playing with a bigger streamer, people will gravitate towards the bigger streamer because they're going to think they have something more or less that they can offer. And it's just like selling a car or buying a car, different makes and models, different streamers, different perspectives, different things. And let's be honest, if a lot of people don't like being, in the way of you dying all the time. They don't give a shit about that. They want to see someone who hits everything, is really good at it. And I don't know. That's probably how I became, when I did have my Mario Maker days. Probably why it became so successful for me is because I'm not the best Mario player in the world, but I think I know my way a damn good level.
Yeah.
I couldn't do Mario Maker. It's too stressful.
That game does really well, but once you gravitate away towards that game that made you go well, you're fucked.
Yep.
I try to keep people around me with my humor. Because I can't seem to focus on one game. I've never
I
been
feel
able to
that.
focus on one game. So I try to keep people around for my personality and my humor, because that's something that's never going to change.
Yeah.
No matter what I play.
Yeah. I
So.
get that.
Might be 1 year older, but you know what? I'm still,
I still got a
kicking.
dick.
I'm still
wait,
taking penis jokes.
Sorry, did you just say you had a penis in a chokehold?
I love
So speaking, I guess, of the Elf brand, I know you talked about it. With you having to switch from the old name of Go F Yourself to your new name, how long? Estimate it. You don't have to be
Wait, how
precise.
long
How long
what?
do you think it took you to recreate your brand, pretty much from the bottom up?
Honestly, I'm still working on it. It's not easy. Like, so many of the streamers that I used to always I wouldn't say always, but anytime they were on when I had time to sit and watch. I had some decent acquaintances in other people's channels. Nobody knew who the fuck I was. Even though some of these were mutual viewers, they didn't know who the fuck I was. It's kind of humbling. Not gonna lie, it's pretty humbling. You have to start from that point, but if it wasn't for the fact that I took care to make sure that when I do go live, I use the Me6 thing, the Me6 bot, to make it so that people can see when I'm live if they're part of my Discord. But honestly, not that many people actually pay that much attention to my Twitter. So even if I had posted on my Twitter, it wouldn't have fucking done fuck all. But you'd have people that would look and see, and not everybody looks at the the embedded picture on that, and they're like, well, who the fuck's this person? Where's Elfers? Where's Elfie? And it's I'm right here.
I noticed when your name changed on Twitter, and I remember at first being is that Go Elfie? Is that Elfers?
Yeah.
Is that Elfie? And I looked at your profile and I was like, oh, that's still her.
Yeah.
But then I also remember you tweeting the stuff about the Twitch TOS changing. I remember when seeing you tweet that. So.
Yeah, but not everybody pays attention
not everybody
to that.
can piece that together. Yeah.
Right. So it's just like I said, it's pretty humbling. At the same time, really disappointing because before the whole username thing, I was starting to see a peak in my growth on the platform, and well, I'm working on it. I've only had technically 2 successful streams as MmmElfers, but I mean, I know that I have a long time, I have a lot to go with, rebuilding my shit. I have to redo my logos. There's a whole bunch of work that comes into it. I'm only thankful that my emotes don't have my Go Off Yourself stuff designed into them, because
this is potentially costing their creators money, because as a community we like to pay each other to do our logos and our art
For
and
sure.
stuff.
I'm not gonna lie,
that's costing a lot of people.
Yeah, my emotes were expensive. I'm not gonna lie. I paid a pretty good price for them. I'm very happy with them. But everything else, so my logo and let's see, what else do I have on my page? So my logo, and then a couple of my. Oh no, I think I should be okay with those ones. But my backgrounds and my banners, I have to do that all over again. I have to redo them, and my logo itself took 37 hours, Luigi. Remember I kept asking you for your input on it.
We were in
I
a
did
call
that myself.
Night for at least for around 4 or 5 hours together in that call.
I was going loopy. Yeah.
I think we got you I think I got you around like the mid to tail end of it. So yeah. But I think that just kind of shows that when Twitch says a statement like, you know, we understand it's going to take time to rebrand. 2 weeks is not enough time to rebrand something.
No,
And
it's really not.
Twitch, I think, even had to learn that the hard way because they
I think
originally were
90
not known
days at
Twitch.
least.
You know, originally Twitch was Justin.tv. And switching from Justin.tv to Twitch.tv, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of meetings. It takes a lot of money to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And for someone who, you know, does go on the platform and try to stream as much as they can and, you know, does make a small chunk of change on there, you know, that money is meant to reinvest into the stream for either like more emotes, a new game, a new system, stuff like that to make the stream better for everyone who's watching it. Not for having to pay the same person like, hey, I know you did art my logo, but sadly Twitch is making me change it, so I guess I have to pay you again to redo everything and use the same assets.
Come on, Hez, I need your help again.
You know.
That kind of...
Yes.
And luckily you did the logo and stuff yourself. I mean, you're way more talented than I am, so, you know, that makes more sense. But
It took a lot of time, though.
you know,
bet.
and it takes a lot. It takes a lot of time.
Even when you're
So,
mimicking,
While I do give Twitch a thank you for understanding that people do have to rebrand, you do have to give us a lot more time, especially if we were like a company base. You know, if Elf was part of the Nest and had to rechange her brand and everything, you know, that's now me having to go through possible name potential, seeing what it's supposed to be. When Elf decide on one, I have to go through all of our videos and make sure that we relabel the videos with the proper name in it, you know, and make sure that everything is still the same, because YouTube does not automatically change those URLs. You have to go and redo them every time one little thing changes.
Yeah.
So, you know,
It's like what's annoying is like with Oreo's changed his name like 3 or 4 times in the last 4 years, and it's the most annoying thing in the world having to go into all your old videos and update the name.
Yeah.
It's something as little as that. Like,
no, it's irritating. And quite honestly, I feel like that time frame that they gave was like very it was very what's it called? Shit. It was on the top of my tongue and the tip of my tongue. The tip of the tongue,
like
the teeth, the lips.
the minimum.
It's toned
down.
deaf.
Tip of the tongue.
Yeah, the tip of the tongue. Yeah, no, it was very tone deaf. Because, like, if you're a company, then you know that branding is, like, super, super important. It's very important. Not just that your brand looks good. It reflects who and what you are. And it also reflects your viewers, your clients' value, like their values, right? And that's the thing is, like, it takes fucking time and effort, and sometimes, yes, quite a bit of money. And it's like, but you'd think that those of us that have those names are not worthy of more time? Like, that's bullshit. I'm sorry, but it is.
It is.
It's
bullshit.
like, so you're just gonna spit in our faces, the ones that are fucking feeding you, because we really are. I'm not gonna lie, we're fucking feeding Twitch. Like, the big streamers, yeah, sure, they feed Twitch a bit more, but there are also big streamers that I know of that have also had to change their name, and they are also suffering from it. And it's like, you can't do that. Like, you can't just assume it only takes like 2 fucking weeks to rebrand your whole fucking life. No.
Shit. All I'm thinking now is for like luckily you don't have Elf. You don't have merchandise writing stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God for that.
I'm trying to think now is like, if I had to change my name and if I still had my previous Generation 1 merch store still open for people to buy things on it, I would have to go through every single piece of art, every single piece of merch. You know, if there's any solder patches with my name and stuff on it, I'd have to change all of that. And having to go through and download that schematic just to change that one little thing, time is the biggest thing. And Twitch needs to understand that. Twitch gets a good chunk of money from Daddy Bezos, which is good on them. You know, they get a good chunk of change for their server hosting, VOD hosting, everything like that, right? Great, and it works on them. You know, people get hired through Amazon to be in the Twitch division. great. But Amazon should be one of the most biggest sites to understand that it takes years to do something like this.
Yeah, and Amazon didn't make no money for like a decade before they actually blew up.
Amazon made no money. They redid their site so many different times, and they finally branded the whole Amazon Prime thing.
I mean,
and that's when
they've made all that back and more now. But
oh yeah, but
I'm just saying.
But if we think about this though, if we use Twitch as the example, Twitch was not making money until early 2014. Not even that's probably a little long, maybe about 2012 or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was really when Prime became the word of the century. Like, oh my God, I got this on the internet through Amazon Prime. You know, I got a free trial. I get in 2 days. You know, that was unheard of. You know, 10 years ago, it would take weeks for something to ship in from something. But Amazon introduced Prime getting in 2 days, and they did not make a dime. They were actually spending money on their servers to host everything. And I guess, you know, in the good side of it, it 180'd. That's great. They got buku bucks now.
Well, they knew it would 180. They knew that what they had. They knew it would 180, and they knew they could outweigh all the competition.
But if we go through that example, if Amazon, let's say their site started in 2000, right? You know, say that's just a nice even number they started in. From 2000 to 2000 and let's say 10. Just make it super simple. 20 to 2010, they made no money and they made no branding, no advertising of Prime. Let's say 2011 is when Prime was introduced and they started making more money. That means Twitch went through multiple generations of itself within 10 years with changing everything. Logos, designs, the website, people who work there, and rotating so many different things. And
do you want to hear the actual numbers?
Not really.
Amazon 1994 is when Amazon began, and they turned their first profit in 2001, and it took them 14 years to start making a regular profit.
Ow.
So it was 14 years. It's around 2008 when they started making major bucks.
Shit goes to show. It's amazing.
But you know, you had Big Daddy Bezos was already rich, so he could do that.
Jeffrey Bezos.
Not like I can be like, oh, I can start a business and wait 20 years for it to turn a profit.
I'm 40, living in my mom's basement, trying to hope I get $1 for my Patreon. It's okay. I'm doing that just half the age. Anyways, go.
Hey.
What about your only shoes?
My only shoes.
Yeah. How's your only shoes doing?
Ooh.
I seriously thought about subscribing to your OnlyFans just because it exists. Like I know there's nothing on there.
Yeah, it's free. So I mean.
Wait, you do have an only shoes?
Yes.
Luigi does have an OnlyFans. I'm not allowed to have one.
There is
Luigi has
there's
one.
absolutely nothing on there. It's a completely blank page.
You should just start taking selfies and just put selfies on there.
Actually, I had a really funny idea to actually start doing food reviews on there. Really switch it up.
OnlyFans is not just for nudity. It's if you read the site's description, it's for any hobby.
I was thinking though, I ate the food naked, only waist up, right? Big brain, and then sit down and actually do a review, how much time it took, all that type of stuff. Like give an actual proper review.
You'd be the opposite of whatever his name is.
Avocado.
Yeah, him.
That'd be
you'd be
a 180.
the opposite of him. Instead of being whiny and depressed and mean, you'd be super upbeat and talking about all the good things about the food. It's so amazing.
You're gonna get such weird requests.
Oh, that'd be great.
You know you would.
Can you try eating a donut from your penis? No.
No, I cannot. The beautiful thing is that you can say no.
Can you please, just eat a SpaghettiO off of your nipple?
No.
Yes.
Oh dear. That's when you
say. That's when you say your price.
Yeah. Yeah. Time to name my price for that. Buku bucks. Speaking of making money and all that type of stuff, Elf and I think we both did something relatively in the same amount of time. I went a little bit quicker, in that for the very small portion. I'm saying is because Elf does her training for a new jobicle tomorrow, but both myself and Elf left our old jobs.
No.
And I didn't. Do I call what you did retail, or do I count it more as restaurant work?
Did says like, past tense. I still work there, but it's only like when I want to, because like, well, I'll get into that later. But it's considered liquor distribution. That's what we call it. Liquor distribution.
Okay.
Yes. So I mean, it could be considered retail, but like there's more aspects to it than that.
Okay, so a more bougie liquor store, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think that's considered retail. I mean, I don't know, however you want to say it. But
You
pretty
get
much,
Karens yelling in your
I've
face
worked-
on the daily. Yes.
Yeah, nothing different. So
I've
retail.
worked in distribution before.
You worked in liquor distribution.
I'm not gonna say what, but I've worked in distribution.
Distribution.
Yeah, but I didn't know if you had any, just like, I don't know, I thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about, I guess, our experience working in the retail space in the pandemic. And, obviously the pandemic is still going, but it is, I'm not saying
It's
those
calming.
words anymore.
It's you don't want to say it because
No,
you don't
I'm
want
not
to
gonna
jinx
say it
it,
because
but
I already know, like, tomorrow's gonna be like, all right, nail your door shut.
there's a new strain. Things have gotten much better than they were. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Zero.
Thank God.
But yeah, but how
Yeah.
is, obviously retail sucks in general, like we all know this, but when the pandemic started, how did that really like affect the work and maybe the work ethic for you with having all these different changes?
Well, I mean, perplexity was definitely a factor to how I felt about it, that's for sure. You want to stay safe. Well, at least I wanted to stay safe. I do believe that, COVID is an actual thing. And you get people that
Shun the non-believers.
Oh no! You stop pushing your beliefs on me.
Yeah,
I don't
pretty
want
much.
that. You evil woman.
No, but then you get those assholes that are like, you know what? I don't have it. I don't have to wear a mask when there's a mask mandate. And it's like, even before,
I like masks.
before the mandates, I wore my mask, and it's because it made me feel comfortable. Like I felt safer. You playing with your fucking.
Ooh. I'm cleaning my camera.
I have
It's dirty.
ADHD. This is so distracting.
Sorry. There you go.
Call my
Is that
agent.
better?
We're gonna reschedule.
I saw
look
this
much
thing.
better.
Yeah.
I saw like dirt and stuff on it, so I was like,
So distracting.
I feel
it's dust, like dust build up, and I was like, I'm gonna clean it.
Yeah.
sure he
no,
says it's dust.
So the thing that was the most irritating was at our job, my current and soon to be former job, the owner of our location was very strict with it. You had to have a face covering. It had to be a mask, or it could have been one of those the ones that goes like around your neck and goes up, kind of like a weird scarf thing.
Face shield.
It could be one. No, face shields were not prohibited. Those were prohibited in our store because you can still get spittle from below it, right? Because
Yep.
it's not fully encasing your face.
It doesn't actually work
Exactly.
the way people think it does.
Yeah, so we didn't allow people to have their shirts over their face. They weren't allowed to come in with
This right here.
yeah, not allowed to do that. Not allowed to fucking tie shit to your face. It had to be an actual
was
mask.
the bandana not okay?
No, the bandana was considered fine as long as it covered.
As long as it was tied properly.
Yeah,
'Cause
properly
I've done
and
that.
stayed
I've
on
tied
your
bandana.
face. If it would start coming undone and you were dicking with it the whole time, we would ask you to leave.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, see, I've actually had to use a bandana.
Yeah,
To tie
I
up
have
my
to,
face, so.
but it's
I actually like that. It's actually pretty comfy.
yeah. I mean, I like wearing my mask. I feel like it's more comfortable, and as somebody that's neurodivergent, with very strong olfactors, I smell people very, very heavily. Not like I go out of my way to just yeah.
It's not
no,
like
I
you're
don't do
growing
that.
up on them.
No. I can smell people before I see them. like, I have a very strong sense of smell. And for me, especially, like, working in the
So you're
industry
the
that I do,
opposite of me.
you get people that unfortunately lack, common hygiene. Or any hygiene at all. So I can smell them. And it's atrocious, but if I have my mask on, it helps to, like, deaden the smell, so I'm less likely to smell someone else's stank. So, like, that's one thing that makes me feel more comfortable. And then, of course, like, the safety factor of, I don't want your spittle on me. I don't want your fucking gleeking over the counter. I don't want you fucking sneezing in my direction. I don't want your fucking colds. I don't want your fucking flus. I don't want none of it. So I want to wear my mask. And people will be so fucking rude when you would tell them that they had to mask up. And I understand some people don't want to be told what to do. But on the other hand, it's private property. We have the right to tell you what you can and cannot do on our property.
You would have hated it down here in Georgia.
Oh, I
in the
probably
United
would have thrown
States.
hands. I'm not going to lie.
You probably would have thrown hands.
Don't worry, you were throwing hands over here
I
as
got
well.
very ill several times. People be walking up, and it's like you're supposed to keep your distance, and there'll be people walk right up to you. You're keeping your distance between you and the person in front of you in line, and somebody will walk up right behind you. It's like,
yeah.
even before the pandemic, I didn't like that.
Yep. I don't even like it either.
I don't like it, period. You keep your distance from me. But like, I just look at them usually and they back up, and then they'll never have their mask on because half the businesses didn't want to. The businesses that did enforce it had people coming up and they're starting crap.
Oh, we just called the cops. Like,
Well,
if you cause an issue, we just call the cops, because here in Canada we have the right to refuse service. And if you act like an idiot, we can just be like, yeah, we're not serving you, get the fuck out, or we call the cops and you can get trespassed.
well, managers, for some reason managers always fall victim to the Karen.
Oh, of course.
They always do. For some reason, the Karen's always right. I don't understand that.
Not in my store, thankfully. But I mean, like,
Thank
that's
God.
also the thing too, is like, when it comes to liquor, right, there's a lot more regulations because it does fall on the food aspect of like retail, but at the same time it falls under the drug aspect, and both require very specific standards of health and safety. So if there is a chance of something becoming tainted where someone can get sick and die, they're a lot stricter with regulations in regards to that.
Yes.
So
yes. And that makes perfect sense.
That was
perfect sense.
not gonna lie, still a little irritating. We're supposed to sanitize anything that comes into, so like any common surfaces, countertops, handles, things of the nature. Anytime, like every 15 minutes, we're supposed to do that. So, and we still do that to this day. There was this one time before the mask mandate where it was like every 15 minutes or one after each guest. You had to sanitize like your payment system and your countertop. You had to sanitize that. We had this one person come in, sans mask, wasn't required, so I couldn't really kick them out. He sneezed on a whole fucking row of wine, like flat out, like just sneezed, and I could see the mist go across the whole fucking thing. And I was like, yo, man, you can't be doing that. Like, you need to leave. Like, what? Yeah. No, I told him, I was like, you cannot be in here. Because like he was clearly sick. It wasn't just the one sneeze. He was clearly sick. Yeah. I was like, you need to leave and stay. Like, call the like fucking public health nurse, because like you can't be doing that. Like, I have to sanitize this entire rack of bottles, and I'm not talking just the top ones either, because the moment he sneezed on
spreads.
That, yeah, it does. And the thing is like these are wire racks, so it's not just the top shelf you have to deal with. You have to deal with every fucking row, like every fucking level of that shelf.
You just added a ton of work for you.
It
just
took
because
4 hours to sanitize.
Oh,
That meant
I
taking
knew it was
each
gonna be
bottle
crazy.
off and putting it in a flat on a trolley. I would take it off the shelf, sanitize it, put it on the trolley, and then once that rack was clear, I then had to sanitize the wires and then go down to the next one. And I couldn't put any of this shit back until it had all been done, because otherwise,
yep.
it just spread back.
Otherwise, it'd just be wasting your
again.
time if you did.
Yeah, exactly. 4 fucking hours. Yeah. And some of these were like heavy sellers too, so it was a pain in the ass to tell people that they had to go and get their product elsewhere because like they were not sanitary and you couldn't touch them. I hated people for the most part of the pandemic. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was not a fan of people either during the pandemic. They were very
rude and self-absorbed.
Unintelligent. But the conspiracies for some reason were really popular, and I don't know.
Of course there were.
That's all I got to say on it, is that I'm glad that things are calming down. I'm glad that there's some sort of sense going around right now as far as that goes, because in 2020 and 2021 people were stupid. Like, I had a lot of people block me, cut me off, ignore phone calls from me just because I vaccinated, so I'm brainwashed. So I got the vaccine all 3 times. So apparently I'm brainwashed. And there were people that I would tell, you should get vaccinated. And they'd be like, and they would always bring something, like they would always bring something up that's not true. Like one of these things they seen on Facebook or something I don't know.
Oh, it's absolutely ridiculous.
It's like, someone told me one time, I don't know where they got this, but someone told me one time they didn't want their boobs to get smaller or some shit like that. And I was like, wait, what?
Oh,
it was like
the genital shrinkage.
Yeah, and then like genital shrinkage, like stuff like that. And I'm like,
what happened?
I'll just blame it on the vaccine. You know what? I'll just blame it on the vaccine the next time someone sees it. You know?
I gotta go tell my ex.
I heard that and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I kid you not. I saw this posting on Facebook Marketplace locally. I can't tell you where I'm at, but locally somebody posted they were selling breast milk. They were pumping breast milk, and one of the things that they put on there was that they were unvaccinated.
Oh, or as they like to call themselves, the purebloods. Pureblood breast milk.
Oh, don't worry. That's why I'm calling stories from the ER.
Because honestly, tell us your COVID experience.
All right. So let's start that. Let me just say this outright, and you know what? American viewers can kiss my ass. I can say what I want. I think that Canada was one of the few nations that handled this decently well. You know, I didn't see the form of panic that I saw here in the U.S., especially for grabbing toilet paper. Anyways, yeah.
Grab me some toilet
No, we had
paper.
dumbasses doing that too.
I know, but I feel like it's a lot less.
There's a lot less people in Canada.
Yeah. But so
I think they have more sense when it comes to health. I think that's what it is.
Thankfully our politicians were smart, and the moment they realized that people were hoarding, like buying and hoarding like toilet paper and like fucking sanitizer and shit, they slapped an order in place that if you were busted privately selling stuff that you purchased, you would be slapped with a fine, and that shit would be
you could
it would
not
be
do that here.
seized and donated to emergency services.
You could not do that here. They would call you a communist. They would accuse you of being a dictator, and
they would say
you couldn't do that here.
I have the.
I agree with that, but
they should
with what they did.
They should have done that on the fucking GPUs. Anyways,
That should have been done. You're not wrong.
Hold on, Luigi's trying to push through. Push it through.
Push it through.
Push that turd out. Come on, you can do it.
Get it out.
Turd.
Fucking
get this shit out, bruh.
There's so many things I want to say on the whole like hoarding and shit, but that would be a 2-hour episode on its own route. let's just say
there are ways that we could stop that.
I have been, let's just say, screamed at over the phone because we had no toilet paper. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways.
Yeah.
Pandemic starts and our first, major mask mandate happens. And, I'm one of the few people who are like, okay, how does this actually help? And actually like reaching out, learning a lot of stuff because people didn't know what was happening. And I'm not trying to be the person who's like, oh, well, scientifically this, because people hear me talk enough. And eventually I'm over here like, okay, you know what? This might be a good beneficial thing. I go out, buy, different types of masks to try them out, all the fun stuff. Yeah. I think what really happened is Target's way of doing the mask mandate is actually what made me hurt the worst. So when the mask mandate happened, when it was told, all right, each state can do their own ruling of the mask mandate, but there has to be a mandate in effect. So what Target did, which I think is one of the more stupid things. Now, Target is not a very huge company. It does make multi-billions of dollars a year, but it is not a Walmart. It is not a Costco. I'll be honest when I say that. And with that, here's how the mask mandate worked inside of Target. If we see you come in our interest store, we are allowed to say like, hey, we are requiring a mask. If you do not have one, we have one for you that you can use throughout the store, and we had our own rules. Now, here's the shitty part.
I became MmmElfers.
Be ready for this. Oh my gosh. Just be ready for this. We were not allowed to deny them whatsoever. So if they refuse to put on the mask, we are not allowed to push it onto them. All we are allowed to do is suggest and help to make sure that we're keeping everybody safe. If they refuse, or if they said, I have a medical reason to not to, then they were completely let off to be free inside the store. And the amount that all of us had gotten for doing it, holy shit. Because you would have the people who will come up and be like, hey, listen, why aren't these people wearing a mask? And I probably I should have come up with a more corporate way of saying, well, we don't like to push beliefs onto our guests. We want all guests to shop and feel safe here. I didn't say that. I was 100% honest with them, but yeah, I can't force them. I can do what I can by trying to help clean and stuff like that. But I can't force them.
I can't do it.
If I
Corporate
could,
won't let you.
I would. So, and that was the rule the entire way through. So even when it got to the highest peak, it was still that same rule set. We did close an hour earlier, which was nice because it let us actually have that last hour from 9 to 10 o'clock to kind of clean everything. I honestly wish Target actually redid that, where actually we would have the morning crew and then night crew, I don't want to say deep clean the store, but really go through the store, touch every single surface, touch the displays, make sure that they got cleaned out properly, making it as clean as possible. And we did have a portion of time where we were told every hour we have to go to all displays and all high touch profile times and clean those off. And after every 5 guests, you have to clean off the card reader and the desk that we would use. We called it the boat because it looked like a weird boat. But after a while, they shouldn't care anymore. Because here, sadly, what happens is you get one complaint, they're like, nah, we don't have to do this no more. And Target focuses so much on their brand, and I'm very happy that I'm not employed with them anymore, so I can actually say this out loud. They focus on their brand too much. They focus on trying to be the goody good out of everybody while saying, oh yeah, we're doing these amazing precautions to make sure that we keep our our families and friends and everyone here at Target safe. That didn't do shit. You cannot help
give you COVID
if you can't interject. If your mama came to you and was like, listen, you need to do your homework. And if you're like, nah, actually, my religious belief is I don't believe in homework, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I don't believe in homework.
You're going to get your bitch ass slapped by your mama.
You're going to get your ass in there and do your homework before I slap you.
And I just kind of hate how we had to have the mentality of the guests can do what they want. And now it is different because Target is a corporation, is not privately owned. So obviously we were following Target's guidelines and Target's rules.
You're ran by corporate.
Correct.
Yeah. You're not franchised.
If corporate would have been stricter, I truthfully think it would have actually paved a way for more employers. I would say it that way. You know, if Target was the first people to be like, we are enforcing masks at all stores. If you do not come with a mask, you cannot shop here. And you know, and the one thing I will give them credit for is they're the only store in the area that I know of that did a special 7 to 8 a.m. shopping time on Tuesdays and Wednesdays for elderly people. So if you were you know, elderly, immune compromised, anything like that, we would have a lot less staff in the store, just mostly being in the back receiving in the truck, so you would kind of be on your own doing your own thing. But we would allow them to come in, grab any essentials that they need. You know, if they absolutely needed something from electronics, you could let them in and go get that. Anything that they would need to make it easier for their lives. And then at 8 o'clock, you know, everyone was allowed to come in. They're still kind of doing that policy, which makes me super happy. But if you're not going to force people to say, hey, we need to keep the people who we employ safe, if you're not doing that, then you're not giving a shit about us. And as someone who was employed there, who already had so much bullshit to go through, and then when I lost all of my displays, had to explain to the guests how everything kind of sounded, kind of looked, and then explaining to more guests that, hey, our mobile division's now closed because of COVID. And then when that whole change happened, I almost lost my mind. There was just so many spur of the moment things. You know, guests would come in 2 days before, able to get everything that they need. They didn't have any problems. You know, they needed some help in mobile with their phone. They were able to come in and transfer stuff over, yada, 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 right? But, you know, 2 days later, hey, corporate's not allowing that anymore. And if they catch us on the cameras doing that, they reprimand the manager, and then the manager reprimands me. And so now it's this chain of command saying, hey, we're not allowed to do mobile stuff anymore. We're going to have a sign put up for mobile activations. And that made it 10 times worse. So I got people on the phone, you know, yelling and cursing at me that you know, consumer cellular wasn't opened. And sorry, Janet, that your phone isn't working properly. But also, I have to, at every hour on the hour, go clean everything, make sure I'm with all the guests, make sure I do my daily tasks on top of everything else. I don't have time to sit there, do mobile, then break for 15 minutes to go spray everything, then come back 15 minutes later, then have a whole ass line of people. You know, it wasn't feasible. And when you're a store where there's only one staffer back in the back area sometimes, that means one person to around 5 departments, which is already troublesome enough. So Target should have really hammered down on the mandate. And, you know, if you did have a health problem or something, I can understand certain respiratory things, but my same answer to that too is that then I would recommend you wear a mask no matter what, because you have a respiratory problem, because this is a respiratory virus. You know, if it gets inside your bloodstream, it hurts here. So I don't get all the excuses and stuff, but as I tell her, but I guess everyone knows that, you know, this is America. You know, America's land of the free, home of the brave. And, you know, if you were brave enough to go without your mask, then that's fine. And I am someone who, everyone here knows, I don't push any of my religious beliefs or anything like that onto anybody. I'm probably one of the worst people to talk about it with. I had no idea what the fuck I'm doing. And the one time I would really get upset at people is if you were already sick and you refuse to wear a mask because you are sick. That what made me the most pissed off. And people who are elderly who don't get it, I can give them a pass. They're elderly, they're scared, they're trying to get something done quicker.
Kids, stuff like that.
You know, I'm not going to force a 4-year-old kid to wear this foreign thing on their face they have no idea how to put on, no idea what it means, what it's doing, and I don't say confusing them, but, you know, not having the time to sit down and teach them why this works, because kids are going to have a lot more questions because something is brand new to them. And luckily,
my daughter loved her mask.
You know, luckily,
my daughter freaked out because other people weren't wearing masks.
Yeah, I think you said that last time we were hanging out.
Yeah. Like, even today, like, she's okay with it because she knows everyone's got vaccinated, but there's certain times we go in and she'd be like, mask up. She likes her mask. It's like She's like, I don't have problem breathing in it.
Yeah.
It's not uncomfortable. She said, I think it looks cute.
Also, the
So,
one nice
but
benefit
she also,
too.
we also explained it all to her.
Yeah.
Her mama's a nurse, and we're like well educated in all of this. So
One nice thing about it too is that finding the reusable masks were amazing. They honestly saved so much time for me. And with that as well
they're more comfortable too.
for people who don't know this, I'm gonna give you guys a secret right now. You guys ready for this? If people still have their mask on if they work in a retail store, they're doing it because they want to. We do not force them to wear masks. I will say I did go maskless for the last 3 months of my job, and the only reason why I did that, to be very honest with everyone, is because I have a lot of heat. I am a heater, and so being that
He's
way
a human
and,
furnace.
and pushing these 75-inch TVs out
The
there
eternal
during the daily and
flames
stuff,
of burn within.
it got super hot, and I actually started getting really bad acne on my nose and underneath my eyes because of my mask. And so I stopped wearing it because it would help with all my breakouts, which most people understood. But I have people who still work there, who are still my friends to this day, who still want to wear a mask, and there's no problem with that. And to be honest with you guys, if you guys piss me off and if I have a mask on, I'm probably cursing you out underneath my breath, but you don't need to know that though. Anyway,
That's the beautiful thing about having a mask on. People can't, because the one thing is I can be super nice to you, but the one thing I can't control is my face.
exactly.
When you're talking to me, I can't control my face.
And
So when I had a mask on, people couldn't see my facial reactions. They might see my eyes.
Funny
but
enough, there were people who was introduced by me when I had my mask, and I used it all the time. And then when I stopped wearing my mask for a little while, I really had to relearn my
how to control your face.
Yeah, because there will be days I was so pissed off about some bullshit happening. I would have a visible frown on my face, and all of my talking was so fucking deep it wasn't even funny. And people were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Shit's just happening. Got shit to do. Let's keep going." You know.
Yeah.
And everyone knows that plans change on a daily. And half of it's great, half of it makes me want to throw myself off the roof. I'm just gonna be honest. Bullseye needs a sacrifice. I'm ready. So it was an interesting time, and there's a lot of stories that of multiple people who stand out in my brain who said interesting things, or people who really supported it for yada 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 reason. But the one thing I want to pick up on is Elf said that she has the sense that you can kind of see and smell things. The one thing is that my mask did great. I always have my mask super tight because I wear glasses, so if my mask isn't tight on my face, they fog my glasses. It's great.
Yeah, I dealt with a lot of fog. Oh, gosh.
So with that, it kind of helped with masking a lot of people.
You see my glasses?
Able to just get a monocle out of that point. Just get a monocle, you'll be
At
fine.
least I got both lenses. It's just,
Yeah, dirty. But yeah, so the one time that the mask did not work was there was this dad and son duo, right?
Yeah.
They bought an air conditioning, and they're within a manufacturer warranty with the company, hey, we're supposed to return it here and do an exchange. Here's the receipt, and here's what they want you to do, yada yada yada, right? These guys smelled so bad like cat piss. And I mean the feeling of I thought they had a cat inside their clothes that was currently pissing. It was
That's
so
gross.
strong. It was strong that when I smelled, I had to hold back the sound effect of yakking or choking. And I told the person who was at guest services that day, I'm just like, listen, these guys are doing an exchange. Don't talk to them for too long. I will help you move everything. Just get them out of here as quick as possible. And then they came up, and she had one whiff, and she right as she was scanning the gift card, she just stared at me, and I'm just like,
Oh, gross.
And they came in a few different times, but I don't everyone knows Houdini's a cat guy, but Houdini's a clean cat guy. He's very good at being clean. If you're gonna have a lot of animals, you gotta be clean.
Wash your clothes.
And
you gotta wash your clothes, your bed sheets. You gotta spray. You gotta spray for the scent from time to time. You gotta keep clean litter box. You can't let it
Yep.
clump
Take your
up.
cat for fucking frequent vet checks too, because like super strong smelling cat piss could be your cat's kidney shutting down. Yeah.
That usually means something's wrong with them, or you need to change their diet. You need to be very careful about what you feed them.
Yeah, cats have very sensitive livers and kidneys.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, the air conditioner that they brought in, they had the box opened. So I took a look at the air conditioner to make sure all the pieces were there.
Yeah.
It was full to the brim with cat hair. And I'm not
disgusting.
I'm not even being funny. I'm
How
saying
many cats did they have?
I
How long
don't
did
know.
they have it?
And I never asked them because I truthfully wanted them as quickly out of the store as possible.
How long did they have that?
Oh, they only had that
Jeez.
window unit for 1 year.
Okay, I guess that's.
Which is understandable.
Yeah.
Like if you never cleaned it,
If I'm
fine.
gonna return, if I'm gonna return something like that, I'm gonna clean it before I take it.
Yeah,
into
no,
Not
they
everyone
didn't-
does, though.
That's
Yeah,
nasty.
they didn't clean
I know,
that,
I know
and
they don't. But
It had that weird smell like they pissed on it too, and so it just smelled like fucking cat piss the entire fucking day up there.
Well,
And every time I walk
something
up there, I
else that
wanna
could have
throw up.
happened. Something else that could have happened, Luigi, is that they could have just been really nasty, and the cats could have peed in their house because an AC unit takes in air. And then it pushes it out, so it could have been taking in cat piss, like the smell from cat urine, over the course of a year. That could have been what did it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so gross.
Isn't that
wonder why
gross?
the
But an
Freon
AC
died in
cycles. Yeah,
Yeah,
an AC unit just takes it in.
I've only had one incident where the mask didn't work for somebody's stench, and that I almost heave even just like thinking of it, because like you, Luigi, I had to deal with them, and for me it was more like, thankfully I kicked him out of the fucking store. It was so gross. Comes in, he like the moment he comes up to my till, the first thing I smell is like rancid old vomit, gross, and pee, like an old like cake of like urinal cake that's been sitting in the bottom of the most used like unwashed urinal that you've ever fucking smelled. That's what I could smell, and like even right now. And then I looked at him, and buddy guy, he was wearing a mask, but it was all dirty. And sorry, this part gets me really grossed out. He had caked on vomit on his shirt all the way down it. I'm pretty sure he had poo in the back of his pants. I'm trying so hard not to vomit, just bringing it up. But I could smell him. And keep in mind, I used a spray after he left. I could smell him for like about 20 minutes in my mask. I had to go wash. I went and washed my mask because like we have a mask washer in the back. And but yeah, even after that, like I could still smell. It's like he tracked it in there, and then it just decided to stay for almost the entire night. Like thankfully he still looked really, really drunk, because unfortunately hygiene is not one of the things I can remove somebody from the store from. But I'm pretty sure he was still,
I don't know why.
so yeah, caked
And
on
so,
vomit
like,
all
yeah.
down his fucking shirt. It looked like he had poo, like where he'd been sitting in it, like on the back of his pants, because they were like khaki pants. Like, but like, oh my god, it was so fucking disgusting, and I could
It just makes me
smell it,
sick
and it was
thinking
like,
about
oh,
it.
yeah, same here. The fact that he came into the store and expected me to, oh, yeah.
So I had
But when you brought up
my-
the stink,
Yeah, so I had my
I don't know how
fair
you
share.
can't kick someone out for hygiene if it's that bad.
I wish.
I can understand not kicking someone out just because they farted before walking in the
I
store,
would-
but that's
Yeah, I know.
like dangerous. That's like a health
I would
risk.
say
I agree.
if there was like a guest complaint, then you probably could. But
Yeah.
if there was no other guests in there, or if they were in there for a specific reason and they were doing that thing, like you can't really push them out. But
There were
this-
definitely people in the store, but we're Canadian. They were too polite. Me,
I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah.
I latched onto
Yeah,
the fact
I
that I
know
was pretty
how-
sure he was inebriated. I was like, buddy, you are too drunk for me to serve. You need to go home until you've showered and sobered up.
You just had to add the shower part.
Of course
and get
I
it in there.
Yeah, when you shower, SHOWER, the thing
That
with
thing
the
with
head on it.
water that comes
It has-
down.
you can buy soap.
Your
Shower.
soaps. Do you need some
Do you need
soaps?
soap? I'll give you a cup of the hand
I'll
soap
give
we
you
use for
some
the
soap.
bathroom.
I got you.
Right.
Like, I'll give you something.
But speaking of things, speaking of both of us being quote unquote jobless, I am jobless, you're not. But, you know, I am currently taking more time to focus on the Nest to get this brand built up and, you know, really make sure that we can start doing more things on here before I start, you know, going back to work and stuff, and really make sure that we have a good plan down for this company. You do have a newer job lined up, and you seem very excited about it. So as most people know, who or may not know, do have a lot of new reviewers. Elf resides in Canada, so we may not have certain things that
Canada.
she has.
Fuck Canada. Sorry.
But
wait, blame Canada.
Yeah.
I love Canadians because they all love South Park. I've never met a Canadian that doesn't like South Park, and especially the movie. Especially the movie.
I love the movie so much.
You haven't met my friend Raffi then. She doesn't watch it.
Oh, well, I don't think, like, I watched it with Luigi, and I don't think he actually, like, ever, like, watched the full movie all the way through, but he watched it with me and Passy, and we watched it all the way through, and he was just it just killed him several times. And I was like, this is a classic, dude.
The funny thing is that it wasn't even like things you thought would get me. It was the other things that they said that what got me the most, which was the best part about it.
Yeah, it's a really fun series. I enjoy it.
I love them. They're good guys. But very briefly, without any personal things being said, tell me about the new job. So you still kind of have your retail distribution liquor thing, which I'm guessing is more of a Target calls it a on-demand worker, so you have to be scheduled once every blue moon, and they have to schedule you that, but you're allowed to pick up ships if you want to and stuff. As I'm guessing that's what you're doing with them, or is it just like when you want to?
Somewhat. I just told them that like the new job takes priority on shifts, but I don't mind picking up a shift or two until my hours round out with the new place.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I've been doing.
Like a courtesy thing, like, hey, I am leaving. This will give you time to find someone new, and I can still be a reliable partner with it until my new thing is fully ready for me to go full force and spending the most time on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's good.
That's pretty much how I'm working it. It's definitely I really want to do it. Like, it's in the same industry that I've been in for like a while now, but honestly, it's been about location, because as you probably already remember, like I have moved 4 times in the past year or so. And it's exhausting getting to and from work in another city. I think that's probably like been the biggest thing for me, is like I do not have the energy to like be constantly like ferrying myself to and from the other side of the city. So I decided that was enough, and I was gonna find something closer. I had been meaning to get out of my industry, but quite honestly, it's kind of tricky to do so, because, well, when you're in a specialized kind of retail, nobody else really wants you because they want a different type of specialization, which kind of sucks for me. But like on the other hand, it's like at least I know what I'm doing. I have experience in what I need to do. So I'm taking advantage of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's just, I like it because it's a lot closer to home. And another big thing too is like it's definitely got a better pay, in my opinion. Like pay is much better. And I actually get like benefits and discounts. So yay.
Very good.
Nice.
A lot better than the other place then.
Well, that was the problem with the other place. Like I enjoyed and still enjoy most of the people that I work with, but honestly it's not worth that much of a commute every time to get to work.
Yeah.
And honestly, like when you work in a specialized industry, you should be able to try out your product, or be able to afford to try your product, so then you can make recommendations to the clients. And unfortunately, unfortunately, like my current employer doesn't really agree with that. Like it would be rare that we got samples to try, and we didn't get discounts or anything. So if you did buy product, you're paying out of pocket at full price, and that doesn't make sense to me. So I was like, you know what, like, I like the fact that, like, I get a discount, plus I get discounts at the food place that's right nearby it, so might as well.
Or are they owned by like the same person, I'm guessing?
Yeah, they
awesome.
are.
So is this place that you're doing, is it like two separate like entities, like the liquor distribution is one thing and then there's like food on the other side, or is it like combined together where it's like, oh, it's like a restaurant idea where you can like, you know, eat there and stuff and then get that? Just, you know.
No. So it's the same building. There is a pub attached to the building, and what's it called? Sorry, I'm a little distracted here.
You're good.
And then of course you have the liquor store right there too. So you basically work at the liquor store or you work at the pub. There's one or the other. And you can end up transferring into the pub, which I don't really want to do. I'm not really keen on being a server or a bartender just because, like, especially with COVID still being a thing, that part of the industry is very finicky on whether or not you'll have a job in the next week or so. Like, depending on how people actually abide by the laws and regulations in place for the industry. Like, you can be SOL, you can be out of a job. Like, you can have a job 1 minute and then it's gone the next because, you know, the pubs are shut down. Bars and pubs and clubs, they all get shut down eventually because of something or another. With liquor stores, or liquor distribution centers, like, you're guaranteed to have something because they don't close those down unless someone does something stupid like break the liquor laws.
And that's because everyone needs liquor. Everyone needs something.
Yes.
Yep.
I guess while he's gone, I guess I just want to talk about, you know, maybe something kind of fun. I'll incorporate this real quickly. So season 2 is happening, and I think we talked about it. You're gonna do it again. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Did you guys enjoy season 1? I hope you did. It was rocky road.
It was a blast.
Some people hate me from it. Some people love me. It depends on the person.
Yeah, no, I had a blast. I thought it was awesome, honest.
I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Houdini and Passy and Oreo have actually all stepped in as being kind of like executive producers. So all the questions and all the fast money and all the bullseye stuff we do this year, they're going, as well as me, are gonna play the games through and make sure that the answers make sense. So if the answers kind of seem weird, don't make sense, we toss the entire question and find something different. But we're taking aspects from the Family Feud board games, Family Feud card games, the actual like new Family Feud game that came out last year, and the TV show all together. I may not have thrown in one or two Canadian Family Feud questions just to confuse the people, but
not just American.
Not just American, but yeah, it was a fun time. I mean, we'll do, you know, classic Canada Family Feud for you, since actually Family Feud never actually appeared in Canada except for when the whole Steve Harvey merger happened with Fremantle and they got out there with Jerry D, which seems to be doing decent in ratings. They brought it back for like season 2, so it can't be that bad, I guess.
Right?
So I don't think do you get the channel that I think it's like
which one? Oh, I actually I don't use cable.
Lol. I mean, I can't get the channels because I'm a stupid American. But
You're not stupid American. I just don't use it because, like, I don't really like. I enjoy watching stuff on like streaming services. You know what I mean?
So much nicer. It's so much nicer, and it's more convenient.
You're not wrong.
So, but I've been watching like clips and stuff of the Canadian show, and it seems like a really fun show. They got a good aspect, and Jerry D, I mean, I never heard of him before he got this gig. Like, why would I know who Jerry D is? But, you know, kind of looked up his past and stuff, and, you know, he does well with the show. He is a little more straight than, for people who don't understand the context in the word straight. In the game show world, you have people who do like a lot of comedic stuff, people who are comedic but are straight through, and then you have people who are just what we call traffic cops, which are people who just play the game and they play the game how it's supposed to be. Jerry D's like right in the middle for me. He's a good host. I think the show fits him well, and he got a few good jokes out and got a few good things. And the Canadian families are also really interesting to watch, because I love seeing on the shows with Steve Harvey, you see all these people like, you know, blasting the X's like, yeah, I'll get this next one wrong, you know, and you see that the Canadian team's kind of like doing this and like, but being like kind of nice about it. It's like, yeah, strike out, but only if you want to.
Right.
I'm so sorry you striked out.
So sorry.
So sorry.
So sorry, bud. We're so sorry.
But yeah, so season 2 of my Family Feud tournament's gonna kick off, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Elfa's gonna be there with her team, and it might be a rematch. It could be a full blown rematch of what you did with Chef, and I'm down for that. That's what you guys want to do. So
I'm excited.
We'll get some stuff going on, but you guys will see Elf again. The Family Feud stuff will be on my personal channel just because I'm producing it all the way through and doing all the hosting and stuff. But it was a lot of fun. I actually got a few more creators on it. We have a Cleek Geek on it, has retinue. Lala's coming back for it, and then you, and then might have another person who I may not be able to say yet or not, but I got at least 4 people ready and who are willing just for me to tell them when we're doing everything. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a rematch on Chai's team just because one of their questions got bodged by me by accident, and I want to give them a fair chance to be in the run for this year. The only difference is just that you guys won't see any of the Nest members playing, because the rule I have is if you help out with the questions, it is not fair for you to be a player. And all of them understand the risk. And actually, I think Passy's actually really enjoyed me doing all the fast money stuff on him, because it really gets his brain meats moving.
He likes his brain meats. He wants to eat some. Passy's a zombie. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, I don't know why I went there.
So the next segment that we're going to do, just to kind of explain to you what this is, I'm going to explain it during like the show portion as well, but just so you understand, this next portion is what I call the speed question round. How this works is that I'm going to ask a question that each one of us have to answer. Each one of us gets 1 minute to answer. So you don't have to, so it's not 1 minute for the entire question. It's 1 minute per person to answer for the question. But once the minute is up, you have to shut. So it's a fun time thing. I thought it was kind of fun to incorporate it, since Passy really likes doing the podcast questions and stuff. So I told him I'll incorporate him a little bit into it, but make it more speed roundy. So, and then we'll kind of do that, I guess, now, and then I guess we'll go from there. So, all right, guys, you know what time it is. It's time for the Passy questions lightning round.
Yay!
As you guys remember from the Hez Retinue show, this is funny as hell, because Hez Retinue thought I was doing like a fast money idea where it's like, all right, I have to ask you, 5 questions in 1 minute. That's not how it's played. It's played that the question that is asked, each one of us get 1 minute to answer the question. After our minute is up, you have to shut up. So that's how we play this round. It's a lot of fun.
My.
And also, you can stop early. You do not have to take the entire full minute if you don't want to. But, if you want to explain your answer, please explain it. And then whenever you naturally feel like it's time to stop, just time to stop, and I'll have a stopwatch down here, keeping an eye on it, all right? So we will always go in the order of Elf, Houdini, and myself. I'll always answer last. That way it makes it fair. So here you go. Question 1.
Hold on one.
We asked this one, I believe, last week on the show. This is still a really good question. What was the first console that you've ever played? The first video game console you've ever played? 1 minute and go.
That would be the, I think it was the Sega Dreamcast.
Do you have any, a story you want to throw on with that?
Is she younger than me?
You got...
Oh wait, no, sorry, I lied. It was the PSN. PSN? No, but the fucking,
The original PlayStation?
Hold on. Sorry, I've had a few different consoles. I believe I actually had the, whatchamacallit, the Nintendo, a Nintendo game. I can't remember. It was a gray thing. It was a gray box, and you had to sometimes you had to flip the covers down and blow inside of it to get it
that
to...
That would be the NES,
the NES or
the original Nintendo. The original Nintendo.
That's it.
Well, the original Nintendo had the flap that you flipped up.
Yeah.
It sounded like she described the flap.
I think so.
Did you flip up and you push it in and then you push down on it?
Oh, yeah, that's the NES.
Yeah, That's the original. Yeah, that's the original Nintendo.
Yeah, so I had one of those. My favorite game on there was, I think it was Thorn, and then it was Earthworm Jim. Yeah, Earthworm
Nice.
Jim. I loved Earthworm Jim. It was great.
All right, Houdini, first console you ever played. 3, 2, 1, go.
NES was the very first console I remember ever playing.
And then throw out some like really good games or like a quick story they can do in 40 seconds.
Super Mario Brothers 3 was the classic. The original Super Mario Brothers was the first game I remember ever playing. I enjoyed Duck Hunt a lot. I enjoyed DuckTales was a really good one. Zelda. The original Zelda, I played a lot of that. Castlevania, I had Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. That's pretty much like what I remember of it. The Super Nintendo was the first console that was mine. The NES was like a family console. So the Super Nintendo was the first time that it was my TV. I could take it to my room and play it on my tiny ass black and white, like 9-inch TV with the VCR built in. And just play Donkey Kong Country on that. So like those are my favorite. Like that's really all I got to say.
Nice.
Super Nintendo's best console, in my opinion.
So is this where I make you guys feel?
It's time to
Feel old?
Yeah. So the first video game
He's
console.
gonna be like, my first video game console was a Wii or some shit
so
like
my
that.
first video game console that I ever played was the original PlayStation, and I remember fondly playing Crash Bandicoot with my mom in the bedroom. And we also got a PlayStation 2, and we traded on PlayStation 1 for PlayStation 2. Then we learned that it had the cross-platform thing and stuff, and we had all the demo discs, and those are really cool. But the first video game console that was like truly mine, which I got as a Christmas gift, sorry, it was a birthday gift, sorry, was this bad boy right here, the Nintendo DS Lite. The first game I ever got for it and completed 100%. New Super Mario Brothers for the DS. One of my favorite games of all time, and everyone can fight me over it. I don't really care. But yeah, that's all I got.
I'll fight you.
Fight me, do it. You have to get in line though. We got a lot of people who hate me, so you have to jump in line. Sorry.
Ooh, yikes.
It's okay. It's what happens when you work in retail until people know. All right.
How dare you?
It's like, don't touch me there. No.
That's my no square.
No square.
Stop, don't touch me there. That is my no square, okay?
Okay, next question. Here we go. Who inspired you to create content or start creating content? 3, 2, 1, Elf.
Nyanners. So nowadays she is a VTuber, but when I first was introduced to her stuff, she was honestly just like she was like on YouTube, and she did like voice stuff where she did this one like, oh, on their right mind, frosty cake with their butt. And then another one was, how can you say you love her if you can't even eat her poop? And that just got me really interested in saying really weird, fucked up shit to people and seeing how much of it I could actually get away with. I liked it. It was great.
Houdini, give me the man or woman or person or thing that inspired you.
It was definitely a man.
Super Mayhem was one of my biggest influences. He is the one who encouraged me to go over it, but I've been heavily inspired by channels like Game Grumps and stuff like that. I'm trying to think of the names of all the channels that like influence me, but I find myself being influenced by every new content creator I meet, even close friends. Because you can always pull something away from everyone. But Super Mayhem was the big one. He was the first one who was like, he actually pushed me to start making videos and stream. And I just love his genuine, like how genuine he is with his material. And that's something that you can like just sense off of somebody as whether they're being genuine or not. And
Sweet.
Enjoy that.
Love
That's nice.
All right. God damn. I have a lot of answers for this one.
So I met my heroes.
You sure did, buddy guy.
I love it.
It's such a long answer.
I'm just gonna
All right.
eat while y'all.
Who inspired me to create content? So when I first started out, I actually tried doing skits and kind of emulating the Smosh era of Aiden and Anthony, just trying different things. I emulated some of that for a little bit, then I went to gameplay and emulated one of my favorite all-time YouTube creators. His name was Seamus, also known as SSOHPKC.
Oh yeah, he was a big one.
He was the one who got me started into the whole Mario ROM hacking scene and the hacking scene in general for video games, and one of the funniest people who had the most dry, sarcastic humor you can think of, but it always played out so well in all the videos and gameplays that he did. And then people who were within the creatures is what kind of inspired me to do The Nest, which was, you know, a bunch of different creators doing whole different things, like combining together to make something really cool. They influenced me a lot, Cow Chop and a few of those, but I've been doing content for the past 10 years, so I've had a lot of influencers come through by, but those are my main ones.
That's awesome, buddy.
That's a lot to say in 1 minute, trying to make sure I, you know, enunciate and don't, you know, like, start slurring my words.
Enunciation.
Those fucking, you know, Game Grumps assholes and these other people. We love the Game Grumps, by the way. All right.
Yes.
So, we all should have one of these, so this should be pretty easy. What is one of your favorite streaming moments? Go.
Oh, boy.
There's a lot.
You said this would be an easy
no, I know
one.
this one. This one was that one time when you and I
That ain't
were
easy.
reading Reddit shit, and you were trying to read the story about somebody that fucked up by trying to wear a bra where the underwire was broken. And I was like laughing my ass off, and of course because I started laughing so fucking hard, you started laughing so hard. It was great. I loved it.
I miss doing the Reddit readings so much. Guys, do me a favor. Down below in the comments section, actually, you know what? I lied. Let's do this. If this episode gets, I'll be kind. If this episode gets 10 likes, I will sit down with Elf and we will do a 2022 edition of the Reddit readings for you guys. We have to have 10 likes
know that's
on this
happening,
video.
right?
I know. That's why I made it so low. 10 likes. We're gonna make it happen. We'll sit down and do it.
Yeah.
You've seen the likes we've been getting. We've been getting between 5 and 7
Yep.
likes
So just give me a
anyway.
reason
So
to keep pushing on. And remember, guys, for that tier list video, if we get 20 likes on that tier list video, we will be doing a smash or pass on all the Mario power-ups.
Hot.
So 20
So
likes on
nice.
there.
How
And we
sexy.
will do it. I will get everything ready for it, and we will do it as quickly as possible. So 20 likes on that video. When it reaches 20, we'll do it in the same week.
We can do it, buddy, guys. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, Houdini, your favorite streaming moments, and go.
it's hard to pick a favorite streaming moment.
Yeah, man, you can do
but
one or
something
two.
I keep thinking about. Well, what keeps going through my head is like I don't even remember what the hell was going on. But you were doing your little wheel spins for the Wheel of Misfortune.
Oh,
And
no.
I remember Retro being there, right? And I just remember us just cutting up. And, like, I love it. It's on our channel.
Is
like,
it
there's
the
two
night I
videos
did the DS hack?
There's 2 videos. I made it into 2 videos.
Yeah, I remember that night. I couldn't
You
breathe.
got royally fucked by that wheel, bruh. Like, it was so bad. But the thing is like, I think it was you who was having a bad night. Somebody was having a bad night. Who was it? It might have been Retro. He might have been having a bad night. But I remember at the end of it, nobody was having a bad night except for
me.
Luigi.
That's funny.
You know
Had
it's
all
a
that
great
spicy
show
shit.
when you're
Yeah,
the
he
reason
knows
why
how
it's
to
not here
entertain.
anymore. I'll be honest, those hot nuts, they actually royally fucked me up.
Do they
You know.
really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the thing is that they're not like hot. They have a spice to them, but they're not like hot, kind of like doing like, you know, like a Carolina Reaper chip and stuff. It's
Yeah.
the problem is that they went through my system really fast. So within that
you
same
got the Hershey
night,
squirts.
I had to fucking shit so bad.
It was fire coming out that ass.
It felt like I lit a flamethrower and fucking went.
Inside your booty hole.
It was crazy.
That poor old booty
He
hole.
made some money that night, though.
Yeah, I made
Yeah,
about
he did.
$20,
Awesome.
$30 on it.
He made some money. because we were paying for them spins.
Oh dear. Would you guys like to see me bring the wheel back? If
I would love to see that.
Nice,
if I
but
do,
only
though,
if you're comfortable.
I'm not going to be doing
only
it on
if
channel
you're
points,
comfortable
though.
with it.
Like, I gotta make something from it though, because I am putting my body on the line. It's not like killing me, but it is like it hurts my body. So if you guys want to see me maybe do the wheel like maybe once every blue moon for, you know, do like a money thing or whatever, you guys donate a few dollars, something like that, I might do it again. We'll figure it out. But you guys let me know in the comments down below though. You guys want me to bring the wheel back? I will. And actually in the description too, I will have Houdini send me the videos, which ones that he wants me to put in there, and you guys can actually watch me get royally fucked in the ass with just hot nuts all fucking night, getting to the point to where there was a commenter who was like, can you please get back to the game, because I really want to see you finish this level.
Yes.
And I'm like, bro,
yes, that was
I'm
it.
trying to
Somebody
breathe
wanted
right
him
now.
to play the game, but he couldn't.
Like I was on, like I was just getting these fucking notifications and just spinning so much. Oh dear. All right, my favorite streaming moment, I have to say, I had to pick. There's 3 of them. The first one.
No, yeah, he's cheating.
No.
Yeah, we only get to pick one.
Only pick one. Damn. Then this is gonna be a short answer then.
We should probably hear all 3.
Fine.
The Pokepumble one. Me destroying my friends on Pokepumble and Mario Party 7. My simple story. My cousin's friend, like his brother and stuff, came from the military and stayed one night, and I had a friend over and Eli at the house during that time, and we were playing Mario Party 7 on the channel for fun, and there was a game called Pokepumble that I completely smashed Eli at, and everyone saw me do it live on stream and get like 15 of those like little pokey things. Get all of them gone within 5 seconds. So yeah, and I didn't even use like the lighter trick or anything like that. It was legitimately all done just through rapid tapping of my hand.
That's awesome.
The famous line, "Does your dick even exist?" just stays in my brain forever because of how fast I went.
He went so fast that they were talking about his dick evaporating.
Ripperoonies.
So, that was funny.
Uh-huh.
I miss it. Yeah. That was a good time. I really wish we had another. I mean, there's a lot of times where it just got like where either I just got royally screwed or royally, you know, did something really well and impressed other people. Yeah, but also I would say like the only other thing I'll say, and this I don't want to count as part of my answer, but also doing the original Fan Feud tournament. I think that was one of the best things I came up with. It was very hard to plan.
Oh,
Being
fun.
so honest, planning that when I planned it was the hardest thing I could do. As I was in the middle of doing work, talking to my HR and be like, hey, I know this is like peak holiday time, but can I have every single Friday off for a month and a half? You know, and having to really go through and like ask them to do this for me. It took a lot to plan everything, but it was some of the most fun I had doing Family Feud in such a long time. And yeah, so, and Elf was there and Houdini was there, and now Houdini's a co-producer with me, helping me out with questions and game programming and stuff. And Elf is going to come back with her team, or maybe her and Chef might, you know, collab together and do like the, you know, something like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really going to enjoy what we do. If you guys haven't seen that series, please go watch it. Some of the funniest moments of 2020 were in those streams.
Funny as shit.
From Oreo. That's all I'm going to say. Oreo.
Oreo trying to get us canceled.
Yeah. All right. This is the last passing question we have for tonight. So be ready.
Let's
go.
Elf,
what do you treasure about yourself?
I'd say my cringe. Yeah.
Your cringe.
My cringe. All the
You gotta treasure that cringe.
stuff, you know.
Exactly.
Yep. That's it.
Like, no, so honestly, it's like not just the cringe, but like I treasure like my ability to stay true to myself. I do my best never to like give into like other people's opinions of myself. Like I do what I enjoy doing. I obviously don't go out of my way to like offend people, but on the other hand is like I enjoy my own like my own brand of crazy. Like regardless of how like, you know, self-centered that sounds, like I really do enjoy just being myself.
Hell yeah. And I agree.
Like basically like authenticity. That's it for me.
And being Elf's friend for however long we've been friends, I don't even know anymore. However long it's a long time. And that is the one thing that we both, I think, do really well on is being truthful. And, you know, and I'm not going to lie, there are times where, you know, we didn't agree on something or something was not properly brought out or said or whatever. Yeah. But we always made those amends very quickly, very easily, you know, and I'm not gonna lie, we both cried at each other before. We have.
Oh yes, yeah, we have.
But I think that also made our friendship also stronger too. You know, it takes the friendship route and more like, you know, this is like the sister I kind of wanted. You know, one who cared enough, gave some shits, you know, about my opinion.
Better than the sister I got.
Yeah.
I love you.
That's yeah. But we've been friends for a long time, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. So I love you guys. But
that's
all right,
hope it doesn't ever change.
What was the question? Can
what
you
is
reread it for me?
something that you treasure about yourself?
My eyes. They're fucking sexy.
When I stare into your soul.
My personality, my laughter. I treasure the fact that I am able to try and make people laugh. I'm always trying to make someone laugh. I just treasure that I've always had a big heart, and I think that's a good thing. Some people see that as a weakness. I see it as a strength. I just think it's all about how you use your empathy and your, you know. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
how about you,
really
Luigi?
all I have to say about it.
See, the thing is that I don't think fondly of myself. I hate myself.
I don't either.
I,
it's
like,
really
hey,
weird.
yeah.
Me saying what I just said is really fucking weird to me. That I just said what I said about myself.
But I mean, like sometimes you gotta remember that like your brain lies to you, and you have to have those moments where you actually admit to yourself that you do enjoy those aspects of yourself, because you like deep down you don't actually hate yourself. It's just, again, your brain is lying to you. It does that.
Yeah.
It's a little bitch. It's one of the most deceitful parts of the human aspect, is that it likes to lie to us and make us feel less, so then we work harder to be better. I think that's why it does that, but unfortunately it's really hard to come to terms with. Right. Sorry, I just went all cerebral and bullshit on you.
You went, no, you're fine. It gave me, you vamped enough for me to have my answer, so that works. So, all right. What do I treasure about myself? The only thing I'm gonna say, I mean, yeah, but no, I think the big thing is just I'm allowed to be who I am. I don't put on a facade. I don't put on like a different, you know, mask for myself. You know, whenever I get on in front of a camera, this is what I would say to any of my friends, my family, anything like that. You guys see pretty much 100%, you know, exclusion things with like politics, money, stuff like that, because I don't like talking about that with total strangers on the internet. But if you sat down with me, know me for 5 years, and we were able to sit down and have a politic conversation, you would know that I'm someone who allows all aspects to be shown through, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be with each other. But on top of that too, I have a philosophy in life, and the philosophy is my goal is to make at least one person smile or laugh per day. If I do not do that, then I truly don't think I properly did my job of being a human being for that day. Yeah. Because we already got so much bullshit happening in our lives. So if I'm able to make one person laugh or smile or anything like that, I think that's really important. And that's one thing that I love about doing for the streams, is that I can possibly make someone laugh by one of my corny jokes. Maybe I time something perfectly. Who knows? You know, I don't try to be funny, but it happens that I'm funny, which is cool. But I never really try for it unless we're doing things like Who's Line and stuff, which is where I'm actually thinking of really interesting jokes and stuff. You know, you guys see a more unfiltered, more raw version of me, which I think is really cool to see. Because at work and stuff, whoo, you want to talk about a filter boy?
What's a filter?
I was a Brita. filter. I had to allow my voice to go into a Brita to make sure I said things properly, or I would get fucking reamed.
Oh my god, yes. I used to have a speech impediment when I was younger. Probably
a speech impediment too.
Probably like why my voice is so unique is because like I had to learn to talk like I'm singing. Like I take fairly deep breaths when I'm about to speak, and I think most of it is because I don't want to stumble over my words and end up stuttering. I'm also one of those people where I'm in danger when I'm around other people that stutter, because I will stutter again. Is like one of the things that I hate the most about myself, is that I can fall right back into the same patterns that, you know, brought me to like the lowest points that I've ever been. But yeah, like talking is so hard, especially like
I had to take speech classes when I was a kid.
In kindergarten and
I can't speak properly.
In kindergarten and half of first grade, I actually had to do a special class to teach me how to enunciate my words, because I was able to speak, but I wasn't able to convey what I needed to in a timely forwarded manner, unless if it's like I gotta go pee pee, you know, stuff like that, you know, having to really like learn a lot of the different ways of saying things and all that, and actually like really making sure I learn my different tones in my voice as well too, learning, you know, S, T's, stuff like that,
like learning articulation and eloquency,
because I would slur, like I would have an entire sentence be completely slurred out, and people wouldn't know what's
I know people who have that problem today.
Yeah.
Who still have that problem, and and their parents never took them to really have it fixed.
I'm not gonna lie,
they never ever dealt with it, and I'm gonna tell you, it does kind of bother me, but I don't want to say anything because it can come off as rude.
Yeah, I feel like
when I was a kid, it was L's and R's.
I feel like a lot of it honestly is because like people, and I know that sounds god awful, because like you love your kids, like everyone loves their kids, like you love your offspring. Unfortunately,
you're supposed to.
One of the issues that I've noticed, because like I've helped raise like well over 30 kids in foster care. Like I noticed that when people talk in baby talk around their like toddlers, that's where I've noticed that there is actually like a lot of latency for those kids to learn how to speak properly. Because like if you start using your baby voice around like a kid that is learning how to speak, they're not going to learn. They're going to think that's how they're supposed to do it.
I agree. I didn't do too much baby talk to my daughter. You know, I had little things like milkers and stuff like that when talking about milk and stuff, but we tried to speak proper to her as much as possible, and as a result, she knows how to speak. She's very good at speaking.
Yeah.
So
but
for
like,
an 8-year-old,
it's like like I said, like there's nothing wrong loving your kids, but like the one thing I did again notice is like adults talk down to their children. They really do, and they don't mean to. Yeah. They think it's cute, you know, because like they're kind of in a way they're mocking what their children are saying, the way that they're saying it, because they haven't developed the ability to articulate things the way that we as adults do. Like their mouths don't form the same way.
Yeah, I don't think it's good to do that.
Yeah.
I think,
but reinforcing it can be pretty horrible.
Reinforcing it is real bad, but it can also like come off as condescending to the child.
Oh, for
even
sure.
at a young age, they can kind of like feel like you're making fun of them.
Oh,
and you wonder, and that can explain a lot of the pent up anger some kids have when they get older.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like
people don't realize like, oh, why are you angry? I took care of you and always made sure you had clothes on your back and a roof over your head. Well, you might have been. There's probably something that caused it. You know?
For sure. But like for me, it's like like I know for me, one of the reasons I stuttered was I didn't have the confidence to speak, because one, as you guys can tell, I have a higher pitched voice. Nowadays, when it comes to speaking, I'm a vocal chameleon. Like I can change my voice from like being this, like which is like, you know, how I speak when I'm having fun, I'm enjoying my time with the people that I'm around, like this is my genuine self. If I'm out in public, I lower my octave, and it's because I feel like people aren't going to take me seriously. They're going to make fun of my voice. They're going to, you know, oh, it's just another girl trying to be an ooh girl, that kind of shit. And I get that. on a fucking daily on the internet, mind you. But like, I feel more comfortable here. Because if I didn't, I'd drop my tone on the internet.
Full octave down.
Full octaves down, yeah. And then two, I have ADHD, so I'm not always the most organized in what I'm going to say. It takes a little bit for my mouth to catch up with my brain. So like, my brain is going fuck off fast, and my mouth cannot handle it. And then I'd stumble with the words, and then somebody'd be like, spit it out.
And then people get annoyed with you when you're trying to take your time to say something. And they're like, just go ahead and fucking say it. And it's like, chill. Give me time to get it out, okay? Because if you don't, I'm just gonna slur all over the place, and you're gonna be more angry.
I remember the times when I was helping out like elderly guests with their phones and stuff, and I'm having to translate, techie brain into old people brain. So having
more layman's terms.
Yeah, more layman terms, and a lot easier for people to understand.
I have to do that with people our age, dude.
And there were times where I would kind of stop myself in the middle of a sentence and I would ask them, like, give me one moment, and I would let my brain finish my thought, and I would try to translate it, that way I wouldn't say like, oh yeah, it could be like a problem with the the RAM inside your phone getting too filled up with cookies and stuff. I would just say, oh yeah, let me try clearing some of the internet searches, something easy that they can understand, and it makes it a lot easier. So if you ever see any of your friends just stop talking in the middle of a sentence, or if they like take a minute or two to really come up with the answer, it's because they're thinking of the answer so quickly that you're trying to catch what you're trying to say, and you're trying to say it in the easiest format for yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
And that can be really hard for people to do.
Absolutely. So we're gonna do one last little thing before we quickly do all of our like our promos and stuff. And I thought this was really fun last time, so we might make this like an actual segment now. But Elf, are you okay of playing a game real quickly?
What kind of game?
It is a game called the Fast Money Round from Family Feud.
Oh God, sure, we'll give it a go.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you a total of 5 questions. I'm gonna ask it. We're gonna try to do it within 30 seconds. But if you can't think of something, just say pass. And since you are the guest, you're going to go first. Houdini, I'm gonna ask you to deafen. Whenever I'm done giving the points and stuff, I'll like wave like this, and I'll tell you to come in. Okay? All right, sweet. So I think he's ready to go. I'll do a little thumbs up, make sure that he's good. Perfect. All right, here we go. 30 seconds on the clock. Let your mind be clear. I'm gonna try to be as fast as possible, okay?
All right.
I just pulled out my marker, and nice, he's putting that up because he knows that the card has the back end on it, but he doesn't know that I have these ready. So here we go. We asked 100 people to name a famous Frank.
Frank Sinatra.
Name a milkshake flavor.
Peanut butter.
What is the best way to eat eggs?
Raw.
Name a precious stone.
Gem. Sorry, ruby.
Okay, so that'd be more specific. And last but not least, name a color of the rainbow.
Purple.
All right. Let me quickly add the points. I'll go over your points with you just so we know all together what Houdini means. So, you didn't do too bad. So going through the answers with you real quickly. So I asked you, name a famous Frank. You said Frank Sinatra. That was the top answer at 52 points. Name a milkshake flavor. Peanut butter was not on the survey, so 0 points. What was the best way to eat eggs? Surprisingly enough, raw was not on the survey either, so that's 0 points. Name a precious stone. I asked you to be more specific, and then you gave me ruby, which was the second most popular answer at 19 points. And name a color of the rainbow. You said purple or violet, and that was the third most popular answer at 11 points. So in total, you got 82, which means Houdini needs 118.
Woohoo!
All right, and you can stay, good and stuff, and he knows the rules. There we go. Hi, buddy. Hi. He's taking a quick little smoke break.
I'm coming.
There you go.
Hello.
Can you hear me okay?
Camera.
Camera's more interested in what words the receipt paper had on it.
It was trying really hard to focus on that,
Yeah,
wasn't
it was. It was pushing it. Sweet.
It was
Alrighty.
pushing it
So,
so hard.
your partner, Elf, did pretty good. Got 82 points. So you do have a little more work to do. So you need 118 altogether, okay? So, the same rules apply like it would be in the show. You cannot duplicate your answers. If you do, I will say try again. And I will let you know that your partner only got one top answer. So there are still some good top answers out there waiting for you, okay? All right, 45 seconds on the clock. We're going to try doing 45 at least. And here we go. Name a famous Frank.
Hot dogs, Franks. Frank Sinatra.
You said hot dog
I
Frank.
don't
I have
know.
to take your first answer. Name a milkshake flavor.
Chocolate.
What is the best way to eat eggs?
Fried.
Name a precious stone.
Diamond.
Name a color of the rainbow.
Yellow.
All right, time's up. That's
A famous Frank.
famous
And I was just thinking Frank's
Frank.
like
Frank's
like a
Red
hot
Hot
dog.
Sauce.
Yeah. Yeah, something like Frank Sinatra would probably be more.
I put that
Fitting,
shit on
but-
everything.
And to be frank with you, I didn't know what to say.
all right.
I see what you did
Here
there,
we
buddy
go.
guy.
I asked you,
buddy guy.
name a famous Frank, and you said I want an endorsement with the Frank's hot dogs, the Frank's ballpark that you can find at your local Walmart. Funny
Love some
enough,
glizzies.
that wasn't on the survey. Your partner
Makes sense.
did get the top answer with Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
The second question I asked,
That's literally the
Yeah.
only famous Frank I know,
Yeah.
celebrity-wise. I can't think
if
of
you
anyone
want the second most
else.
popular answer, it was Anne Frank.
Frank Ocean and Frank.
So, all right. Second question: name a milkshake flavor. You said chocolate, and that was a top answer of chocolate with 50 points.
Oh. Oh.
What is
Nice.
the best way
Oh shit.
to eat eggs? Your partner said just eat them raw. Just take the egg and just shove them in your throat, nice and raw. That wasn't on the survey.
I thought she would have said scrambled, which is why I went with fried.
Well, you did.
Scrambled was the first thing that ran through
Yeah,
my
so
head.
scrambled was the top answer. But you did give me fried, which was the second most popular answer, so it had a good chunk of points on it.
How did I know that? How did
Name
I know?
a precious stone. You gave me, mining diamonds, and that was the top answer for that.
Okay.
And last but not least, name a color of the rainbow. So the top answer on this survey was red, and you gave me
of course is the color I don't.
Yeah. But you gave me yellow, which was the fourth most popular answer at 11 points,
Okay.
which actually tied with violet and purple, which is what Elf said. So adding all your points
nice.
together, you got a total of 128 points.
Woo!
You needed 118 to win, so you guys got it with 210 points. You guys won
Woohoo!
fast money.
That's amazing.
It's because we're both good at the video. We're good at
Good
the
at the
video.
video
No, we're both
game.
good at the game.
We did it, guys.
We're good
We
at the
is
video
good
games.
at the interwebs.
Yay!
We're good at the internet.
We love it.
Interwebs.
So, alrighty, well, guys, that's all we have for our show this week. It's always fun to sit down with Elf and just bullshit around for a few hours. So, thank you for being on here. Thank you for being so kind to do it today.
Thank you for
just
having me.
doing that. Go ahead and would you like me to plug you, or would you like to plug yourself?
Oh, you can go ahead and plug me all you like.
Plug me all you
That
like.
doesn't
All right.
sound right.
Bend over. Let's start quickly.
Hold on.
All right, so you guys can find Elf, which original names were Go Elf Yourself. I think all of them have changed now to the new name, which
Correct.
is MmmElfers. So people understand, it's
Elfers.
3 M's. MMM,
Yeah, it's
then
3.
the word Elfers. And that is her, all of her information. She actually is right there. So if you, for people who are watching on YouTube, the Discord name is the name that you will see everywhere. I'm not Bullseye Sacrifice, I promise you that. But all the same through everything, and she goes live on Twitch every few nights. It's not as like a consistent schedule, but she gets on when she can, and she'll play games with people. You might see me in every blue moon playing games with her, so it's lots of fun. She has a Twitter, a Discord, we already mentioned a Twitch channel. She does have a YouTube. She's not really using it, but it's on there, so subscribe to it. You can be one of the first OGs and all that type of stuff. And Elf has a lot of really cool friends that she has on her side, and it's always awesome to see everybody. So, and hey, maybe go ahead and start rooting for her for the Family Feud stuff, because that's going to happen in the next few weeks. So, yeah, Family Feud. It's going to be fun, and and you will see Elf there. We promise you that. I can't promise you win, but you will be seeing them on there. And they kicked ass last time. They did really good last time. It was the only reason why they lost is it was a 1-question shootout. I think it was sudden death, which actually was the decider for your guys' feud, I believe.
Yeah.
So, and then you guys have the wonderful Houdini Fopmeister, who almost in every single day of April has released a video on Blue Synthetic, which is his music channel. And he has been trying to post every blue moon on the Houdini Fopmeister YouTube channel as well. You guys can catch him on twitch.tv/Houdini Fopmeister if or when he ever streams again. And then there's...
It will happen. I've just been busy with life.
Then there's
It'll happen,
little
guys.
old me, which is I'm twitch.tv/LilyMaster1000. I've been decently active on Twitter recently. I don't know why. It's just been like a nice little pastime. So
Twitter's nice sometimes. Sometimes you gotta step away from the bitch. But it can be really nice sometimes. You just feeling good vibes.
We are on Twitter. It's twitter.com/LuigiMaster1. And then the YouTube channel is youtube.com/LuigiMaster1000. And you guys can find all the previous episodes of the Feud over there. And that's really all I have for this episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. Smash the goddamn like button on this video.
That one that's right there. You see it?
See it, yeah.
Smash it
Smash
so
it.
hard.
Smash
I want
it.
you to take your fist.
Yeah, you actually have to go. You actually got to scroll down and click that one, but it's right. Yeah.
You guys have to take your fist and find that like button and just
You see
start
it? I'm gonna
pounding
make it
that
move.
damn like button.
You gotta.
And be sure to smack the shit. Be sure to Will Smith that fucking bell.
Bam! Hit that goddamn bell like Will Smith.
Get Will Smith over here smacking a bell icon.
And then also...
I'm putting some work in for me.
Yeah,
goddamn.
and then also make sure you guys do the biggest important thing of all, which is subscribing to the channel. If you guys are part of the Elf group that comes over to watch the show, we really appreciate you guys for checking us out. We do have some gameplay videos and more episodes of the Nest podcast, so if you like what you see, please give us a good subscribe. It would help us out a lot. We're trying to get to 100 subs before the beginning of summer. We're trying to get to 100 subs so we can lock down that custom URL name and start getting access to a few other things within the YouTube studio as well.
Yeah.
So give us a subscribe. It helps us a lot. Thank you all so much for watching. We love you guys, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks on Thursday with another episode of the Nest podcast.
Absolutely.
I'm Luigi. Good night.